Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to historic Sanford Memorial Stadium here in Sanford, Florida, for today's series finale between the Rattlers of Florida A&M and your Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman University. Let's get ready to meet today's starting lineups, beginning with the visitors from Tallahassee. Leading things off, playing second base, number 5, William Brown. Brown at second base. Batting second for the Rattlers in right field, number 6, Brody Popel. Popel is in right field. Batting third today, controlling center field, number 14, Justin Cruz. Cruz, center field. Batting cleanup for the Rattlers, behind the dish, number 33, Ethan Miller. Miller, the catcher, batting cleanup. Batting fifth in the order at first base, number 21, Josue Figueroa. Figueroa at first base. Batting sixth at third base, number 10, Matthew Perez. Perez at third base. Batting seventh, the DH today, number 2, Colton Riles. Riles is at DH. Batting eighth in the order in left field, number 12, Jordan Brown. Brown in left field. Rounding out the batting order for Florida A&M, at shortstop, number 1, Jalen Niles. Niles is at shortstop. Your starting pitcher for the Rattlers today, right-hander, number 15, Trevor Hanselman. Trevor Hanselman, starting pitcher for Florida A&M. Head coach of the Rattlers is Jamie Shute. And now let's get ready for the starting lineup for your Bethune-Cookman University Wildcats. Leading things off, playing left field, number 1, Darrell Lee. Lee in left field. Batting second today in right field, number 36, Andre Martinez. Martinez in right field. Batting third at second base, number 12, Jesus Vanegas. Vanegas, second base. The cleanup hitter today is the catcher, number 22, Irvin Escobar. Escobar, the catcher. Batting fifth today, serving as the designated hitter, number 5, Michael Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the DH. Batting sixth at third base, number 29, George Gonzalez Fabo. Fabo is at third base. Batting seventh at first base, number 11, Ronaldo Plasencia. Plasencia at first base. Batting eighth at shortstop, number 2, Cheater Boyedo. Boyedo at shortstop. And rounding out the batting order for the Cats in center field, number 19, Sergio Rivera. Rivera is in center field. Your starting pitcher for Bethune-Cookman, left-hander, number 24, Edwin Sanchez. Edwin Sanchez, the starting pitcher for Bethune-Cookman. Head coach of Bethune-Cookman is Johnny Hernandez. Assistant coaches, Joe Sanchez, Derek Cotton, and Hunter Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand. Gentlemen, remove your caps. Veterans, you may cover as we pay tribute to this great nation with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, live from historic Sanford Memorial Stadium in Sanford, Florida, it's time for the finale of this three-game series between the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Florida A&M Rattlers. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company, and I've called in a New pitcher from the bullpen here in the broadcast booth today. Daryl Nathaniel joins me this afternoon. Daryl, it's been a great 2 days to ballpark. Wildcats have won the series. Now we're looking for the sweep.
Everybody's been waiting on the two heavyweights, Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman, to match up this season. Florida A&M came in, at the top of the division. Right now, the Cats with 2 wins have taken over. So the third game tonight, this afternoon, you could see Florida A&M try to do some different things with their at-bats. We saw the Wildcats play small ball yesterday after they hit the long ball, too.
Yeah, the Wildcats, really the best thing about the weekend has been the pitching and defense. Of course, limiting Florida A&M to just 2 runs on 2 hits last night and just 3 runs the night before, all while scoring, 5 runs last night. Didn't really have it, but 8 runs on Thursday. The bats have been okay. They haven't been dominant, but of course you're taking a step up in competition this week against Florida A&M, who came into the weekend tied with you at the top. It's now you alone at the top. But you want to send a massive message to the rest of this conference with a tough schedule towards the end of the season with a sweep.
The scary thing about it is the Cats' bats haven't gotten going. This ballpark, with the wind blowing out, we've seen this be a launching pad at 3:30 and the power alleys at 285. So the Cats get those bats going this afternoon. We could be getting out of here a little early.
We saw Darrell Lee launch one opposite field, just put it up in the wind and let it go yesterday.
Darrell Lee, man, he's swinging a hot bat. That kid's been incredible the last month and a half.
Edwin Sanchez will go for the Wildcats, continuing his Sunday starting regimen. And up steps William Brown, who took the first pitch of last night's contest over the left field wall to give FAMU their only lead so far in the series. And that first pitch is upstairs, ball 1 from Edwin Sanchez, who comes into this afternoon with a 4.89 ERA. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. 38 2/3 innings pitched for Sanchez. He's allowed 24 runs on 41 hits, 21 earned. Striking out 52 and walking 19. He's allowed 3 doubles, a triple, 1 homer, 6 wild pitches, as that one's bunted foul, 1 and 2, and 1 hit by pitch. And I mentioned the pitching and defense has been excellent. Edwin Sanchez has been someone that's kind of up and down. He's got good numbers, but there have been some dud games in there as well.
We've seen him pitch well on Sundays, and we saw him get racked up a couple times too. So he wants to get on track early here this afternoon.
He's ahead of William Brown, 1 and 2 outside. Umpires today, Jose Estera is back behind the plate. Arthur Thigpen at first, Jose Revuelta at third. We were talking about it before the game today, Daryl. The officiating last night, 2-2, high pop, foul out of play, was less than to be desired, and both sides really came away frustrated.
Yeah, you're going to have a wink link on every crew, and we had the weakest of the weakest last night.
Sanchez, the 2-2. Fouled away, we'll do it again. And this is how the Wildcats got eventually to Campa last night. It's
calling
just
pitches off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was through 50 pitches in 3 innings because the Wildcats just stayed in ABs. 2-2 again. Off the end of the bat to right center field, and that's going to drop in front of Rivera for a base hit. So William Brown has been one of the more consistent FAMU bats in this series.
Yeah, William Brown, great leadoff hitter. He replaces another great leadoff hitter that they had last season. That kid's gone now. He's great leadoff hitter for the last 3 years. So Brown.
Third hit of the series for William Brown. Here's Brody Popple, who spent the first 2 games of the series behind the plate. He moves over to right field here in game number 3. Popple, the best hitter on this team by average, and he puts one in the air to dead center. Going back is Rivera. He's got it tracked near the wall, and he makes the catch for out number 1. 1 swing and 1 away.
Popple is a kid that we remember from the last couple of years that's given us fits in the tournament and during the season. Good to see him pop it up. Guys
like Jordan Brown, Jalen Niles, Brody Popple, Ben Kim, who's not in the lineup today, have just been great against the Wildcats in the last couple of years, including that championship team from 2 years ago when the Wildcats made the finals but lost to FAMU. Now with 1 on and 1 out, here's Justin Cruz. Takes a ball upstairs and out. Something that that I didn't expect really come into this series was how poor the Florida A&M defense was going to be. They've made 3 errors last night and a couple on Thursday as well. That one just low ball 2. And Justin Cruz made one of those errors out in center field.
You know, Jamie Shoup has built this team from a lot of local kids in Tallahassee. I talked to him before the ball game, and he talked about how Johnny likes to get the kids out of JUCO.
2-0, chop towards third. That is foul ball called behind the plate, so it's 2-1. I think, honestly, the Wildcats will take that because I'm not sure he was going to make the play at first, Fabo. That was been a tough play. But, yeah, we talked about on Thursday the differing styles between these two teams. A lot of homegrown high school talent out of the Tallahassee area for FAMU, and then a lot of JUCO transfer talent for Bethune-Cookman. There's not really a correct way to do it. 2-1. 3-1 now down low. And it's almost refreshing to see a team built from a high school ranks and then...
We haven't seen that in most sports, basketball, football, or baseball now, the way things going.
Sanchez behind 3-1 here to Justin Cruz. Long hold off here for Edwin Sanchez as he works for this 3-1. That one, breaking ball, caught the zone. I think that's the first breaking ball we've seen Sanchez throw.
He hung that one.
Cruz taking all the way. Justin last night scored the second Rattler run. That one chopped towards second. On it is Venegas. He's got no play at second, so he'll just take the out at first, move the runner over.
And he was going to cover second base, and the ball went the opposite side of him, so he had to cross over and get that ball and make the play at first.
That's a good heads-up play because he could have easily let that one swirl away into the outfield.
If the runner wasn't going, it might have been up the middle for a base hit.
Here's Ethan Miller, who came in to pinch hit on Thursday night, struck out in his only plate appearance. But he gets the start at catcher today, breaking ball low. Well, what made both Joel Corey and Tanner Bocabello's starts the last two nights so good has been their efficiency. 1-0, outside 2-0. They haven't really been that far behind in counts. They didn't really even need the strikeouts, although they both got a couple.
Yeah, we played pretty good defense behind him, too. Even though we had a new guy on first base last night.
And Ray Placencia reprises his role over at first base today, but inducing the soft contact, the easy outs in the field. 2-0, throw back to second. Poyeto prevents that one from getting into center field.
You know, we're seeing things we are not used to seeing in Florida A&M. They're playing small ball now. When they used to play large ball, we're playing a large home run ball now. And even though we have a small ball game we played last night, I think that's what Wildcat, can really do to offset this third game.
That one, line to right field, there's a base hit. Coming around third is Brown. The throw to the plate is way over Escobar's head, and the Rattlers lead 1-0.
Well, they manufactured that run.
Single and an advance for Ethan Miller. And for the second day in a row, 1-0 Rattlers in the first. And when Edwin Sanchez has had some bad games, Jackson State, Southern, this has been the kind of thing. He hasn't given up the long ball, but he just kind of lets the opponent string hits together. Slider strike. 0-1 to Josue Figueroa.
He has to be careful now with another guy in scoring position. Got to get a ground ball here.
Figueroa last night struck out twice, grounded out and reached on an error. Big cut and miss way ahead of that off speed, and it's 0-2.
This off-speed pitch right now is the key pitch for him.
That's been his best pitch all year, but he's got to set it up with the fastball. Slow chopper right back to Sanchez. He'll throw to first, and that's the end of the inning. But a run on 2 hits for FAMU. And for the second straight day, we go to the bottom of the first. 1-0 Florida A&M Wildcats coming to bat here on the CatEye Network. To the bottom of the first we go, and well, last night, when the Wildcats were down 1-0, Darrell Lee led off with a home run to tie the game.
This guy's made a great impression on the SWAC. You know, he's from Alabama, true freshman too.
Transfer from Coastal Alabama Community College, maintains his eligibility. Down low, ball one. The pitcher today for Florida A&M is Trevor Hanselman, the redshirt junior from Tallahassee. Last 2 years now with Florida A&M. This is inside, and it's 2-0. Just one appearance last year with 2 2/3 innings pitched for Hanselman as a freshman. This year he's thrown 13 1/3 innings coming into today, and he's behind 3-0 with an ERA of 16.20.
That's pretty fat.
He's given up 24 runs on 29 hits, 11 walks, and 11 strikeouts. 7 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, and there's a walk. So now his strikeout to walk ratio is in the negatives, as he's walked his 12th of the season.
Now batting for Bethune-Cookman.
And you see a pitcher with numbers like this, you got to be patient, right?
You got to. This Martinez kid, be patient right here. He might get his pitch.
Well, here's Andre Martinez batting .376, although he wasn't great last night, just 1 for 4. With a couple of strikeouts. Currently leading the SWAC in home runs with 14, Andre Martinez. Breaking pitch outside, so Hanselman hasn't thrown a strike yet. 41 runs on 44 hits for Martinez. 9 doubles, no triples, the aforementioned 14 homers and 44 batted in. Outside again, 2-0.
Wasn't there a time when I think D. Lee had 4 and 5, leading the team now? He has 14.
There was a time
Yeah.
where 5 guys had 5 home runs.
Right, now he has 14.
There's a fastball strike. First to the game for Hanselman. Yeah, Andre Martinez has hit 9 home runs in 3 weeks.
Oh, my God. That's why.
He's ahead in the count, 2-1 here. Breaking ball, chopped toward third, could be 2. On to second for 1, back to first. Double play. Not a great start for Bethune-Cookman, now 2 away.
Now batting for Bethune-Cookman, second baseman number 12, Jesus.
Cats have a potent offense, so they're going to bounce back. 1 run down early in the game.
You don't want it to start looking like that second game of the doubleheader against Southern.
Yeah, we keep talking about that one.
Down low ball 1 to Jesus Venegas.
You want to take a lot of pitches right here, make him throw some strikes and get in that pitch count.
Venegas last night bounced back from what had been a really rough week previously. Went 3 for 4 with a walk and 2 RBI. Outside corner strike 1-1. On the season, Venegas batting .317. Came into the series batting about .330. And Hanselman deals. Whoa, that's a rough swing from Venegas. He's down 1-2. But you don't want to get into the habit of swinging for the fences, trying to get it all back at once, and then start chasing and then just start getting depressed if you fall further behind. One, 2. Bounce to the plate, 2-2. And putting Andre Martinez in the 2 spot kind of prevents you from playing that little small ball type game because you're not expecting Martinez to bunt because he's been swinging the bat so well. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the end of the inning. Well, Darrell Lee gets on, but a double play and a strikeout ends the frame, and it's 1-0 FAMU as we go to the second here on the CatEye Network. To the second we go. 1-0 Florida A&M on 2 hits in the first. The Wildcats got the leadoff man on, but a double play and a strikeout ended that threat. So Matthew Perez leads off. Matthew Perez went 0 for 3 last night before being replaced in the 7th inning. On the season, Perez batting .244 as he faces Edwin Sanchez. And he's behind the fastball, 0-1.
Good-looking fastball that time, kind of let her high.
The pitching and defense really needs to step up today. 0-1. Down and in. Because the offense, yes, the quality of opposition is a lot higher than it has been in recent weeks, but over the weekend, even though they scored 8 and 5 in the last 2 games, ground ball up the middle, there's a base hit. Leadoff man aboard for the 2nd inning in a row for FAMU. The offense hasn't looked terrific, just kind of scratching across some runs when they can.
Mm-hmm. But FAMU bats kind of alive right here in the early part of the ball game.
Edwin Sanchez not missing a lot of bats.
Now batting for the Rattlers, designated hitter number 2, Colton Wild.
And he really does kind of remind me of Daniel Gaviria, who was the Sunday guy for the Wildcats last year. Short, stocky lefty.
Lefty, right.
Induces a lot of contact, but sometimes when it's hard contact, it's going to be tough. Here's Colton Riles, who sat last night, popped up behind second base. Going out is Venegas. He's called off by Rivera. 1 away, excuse me. And now it's Jordan Brown.
Batting for the Rattlers, left field number 12, Jordan Brown. Brown, left field.
Jordan Brown batting .233. Just 43 at-bats so far this season, 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 on, 1 out.
Fastball.
And therefore a strike.
That had some pop on it.
Edwin Sanchez, his stuff is pretty good. He tends to leave stuff hanging, which is where he can get in trouble. 0-1. Foul back to the screen.
Now remember that where that ball is right now. Remember that on the fastball off the fastball. That ball will bounce off that cement.
Yeah, not only is the backstop not nearly as far away as it is at the jack, but that wall back there is concrete, as are all the walls out here. So that ball will ricochet back to the catcher, lickety-split. Popped up, foul territory, third base side. Fabo fighting the sun, makes the catch, 2 down.
Good play by Fabo because that ball was right in the sun. He had to put his glove right in that sun beam in order to catch that ball.
Now 2 away, here's Jalen Niles, the 9-hole hitter. Niles 0 for 1 with 2 walks last night, hit into a double play.
He's a kid I remember. He's played shortstop for them well in his career. Senior.
Graduate student now out of Tampa Jesuit. Former Tampa Jesuit Tiger.
He's been around the.
Yeah, he's a career Rattler.
He's been around the SWAC and the MEAC too. I think he played a year in the MEAC.
Breaking ball, that's a strike, 1-1. He may be the last holdover between these two squads.
Yeah, him and Popple.
One. Swing and a miss. I like that up and in fastball to righties from Edwin Sanchez. Got a lot of bite
Right
on
around
it.
the letters.
Yep.
On the hands. Maybe he's just getting unwound right now.
1-2, 2 down.
Yeah.
And now there's 3 down as Jalen Niles was nowhere. Got him with the fastball again, up and in. So the leadoff single doesn't hurt Edwin Sanchez. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Florida A&M here on the CatEye Network. To the second we go, bottom of. Irvin Escobar leads off for the Wildcats.
Catcher number 22.
Down 1-0
Irvin
against Florida
Escobar.
A&M. And an interesting decision by Coach Hernandez to put Irvin at the 4 spot today. Escobar's bat hasn't really been that hot this year, batting just .291. First pitch from Hanselman. Ground ball left-hand side. Well, Irvin Escobar says, shut up, broadcaster.
He said, well, I know best.
First hit of the day for the Wildcats.
Great seeing us single right between the short and third baseman.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you put him in the cleanup.
Designated hitter number 5, Michael Rodriguez.
He should have fresh legs. He didn't get yesterday either.
Didn't play yesterday, yeah. Here's Michael Rodriguez. Rodriguez was the DH yesterday as well. 0 for 1 with 2 walks before being replaced by Armani Newton. Breaking ball, low, ball 1. This is a big spot for Rodriguez, just a sophomore, a bit of an unproven guy. I mean, he's gotten some fair playing time, 26 starts this year. Batting .278, Rodriguez. That time, the 12-6 curve finds the zone 1-1.
This time of the year, most of these guys who are young guys are veterans now. They played over 30 ball games.
Mm-hmm. 1-1. Ground ball to second, could be 2. Flip to second, on to first, double play again. My goodness.
He's getting the pitch where he needs it, getting the ground balls right at somebody.
Now batting for Bethune-Cookman, third baseman number 29, George Gonzalez Fabo.
And now here's Fabo.
Fabo, third base.
With 2 outs, nobody on. Fabo last night, 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Wildcats took a ton of walks last night.
A lot of intentional walks, too.
A couple of them, yeah. So right now, just simple defense for Florida A&M. 2 easy double plays have kept the Wildcats off the board. They're still down 1-0. But they're making contact and putting the ball in play. And as Escobar demonstrated, all you need is just to find that little gap, especially up the middle. There's a big gap right up the middle. And the wind is blowing hard out towards left field. 2-0. That one finds the outside corner, 2-1 with the fastball from Hanselman. Fabo batting .306. Starting just his 22nd game of the year after missing the start with an injury. Down low 3-1. 17 runs on 22 hits, 4 doubles. Still no triples, still no homers yet for Fabo, and 26 RBI.
He doesn't hit a homer yet?
No, which is wild because on a team that's hit so many homers, that's a bad one, 3-2. You'd expect Fabo to get at least a piece of it because he was so good last year.
Maybe at the right time, you get hot.
Wildcats have 4 series after this before the tournament. 3-2. Outside ball 4, and the Wildcats have a base runner with 2 down.
And to make them pay for that walk there with 2 down.
It's Ray Placencia, who I questioned putting in the lineup last night, and all he went and did reach on an error. Actually, he reached on 2 errors and hit a double and scored. And played really solid over at first base.
What's the word on our Manny Sufrain? He's gone for the year?
I haven't heard, but
base hit.
That one ground ball to second. Eats up Brown a little bit, but he'll get the lead runner anyway. That's the end of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the third. Still 1-0 FAMU here on the CatEye Network.
In the top of the third for the Raptors, second baseman number 5, William Brown.
We'll go back to the top of the order. William Brown leads off for Florida A&M as we go to the third. Brown has scored the only run so far, and he puts one in the air down the left field line, and that's foul. That was eerily similar to the home run he hit last night to lead off the game, just down the left field line. That wind is blowing so hard out there towards left.
You got a short foul pole.
1-1 now after that one is low. But yeah, Brown singled to right center, then came around on the Ethan Miller single. In the air, right field and deep. Chasing back and making the grab on the move near the line is Andre Martinez.
Martinez made that play look harder than it was. I think he went back on it first.
He had a couple ones last night that were like that too. But
the way the wind's blowing behind him to his right, and he had to go to his left to get that ball.
Martinez's fielding percentage this year, .942. He's not just a big hitter.
That's excellent.
He can play some good defense too. Fastball in on the hands. 1-1 to Brody Popple, who flew out to center his first time up. As the lefty from Guayama, Puerto Rico deals in the air, right center field. That's going to be tough for Martinez. Long run, but he makes the play.
Martinez got on his horse, man, and that wind held it up. The wind is blowing, like I said before, from his back to the right side.
I remember last time we were out here at Sanford against Mississippi Valley State 2 weekends ago. And there were a couple that were hit really hard to right field that I thought off the bat were going to be way gone. And the wind just stopped them. And they ended up being outs. Darrell Lee had a couple of, I thought they were going to be monster shots. And
he hit one off the top of the fence the other night, didn't he, to right field?
Mm-hmm. First pitch down low and into Justin Cruz, who grounded out to second his first time up. 1-0 FAMU here, top of the third. That one bounces away from Escobar.
Don't get cute now. Let's just get the outs, man, and get out of here.
Yeah, Sanchez definitely trying to bite around the edges of the strike zone a little bit too much and not attacking guys. The up and in fastball has been really good for him. 2-0. This time he goes with the fastball away and misses. And he missed his spot, too, because that is not where Escobar was set up.
You don't want to put guys on with 2 outs, man.
The Wildcats have been bitten by that for years. They just haven't been able to get out of their own way with 2 outs. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Justin Cruz.
Brings up the cleanup hitter.
Digging in for FAMU,
Ethan Miller.
Catcher number 33, Ethan Miller.
Ethan Miller has the RBI, single to right center his first time up, scoring William Brown from second. Right now he's got Cruz on first and 2 down. Fastball down the middle, strike 1.
You start them out with the fastball high, then you work your breaking ball here, and then come back to the fastball inside.
Oh, 1. Fouled away, 1-1.
That's that breaking ball on the outside. He did that. Mm-hmm. Come back on the hands right here with a fastball high in the inside.
Now, this will already be pitch 42 for Edwin Sanchez. We're only in the 3rd inning. But Wildcat bullpen really hasn't been tested all that much this weekend. 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1. Only Yoancel Diaz out of the pen last night for 2 1/3, and then J.C. Zambrano on Thursday for 2 innings, 3 balls and 1 strike now. Correction, it's 2 and 2.
Yeah. He came in last night throwing his hat and the ball on hard as he could.
Mm-hmm. 2-2. Ground ball, that's going to be a seeing eye single under the glove of Venegas. Trying to go to third, here comes the throw and safe is Justin Cruz, and just like that, FAMU's in business with 2 down.
Yeah, that CNL single, man, on the pitch on the outside, he just stuck the bat out there with a guy on first base. The second baseman was cheating to the right side. If he'd have been playing straight up, he probably would have had that one.
Now here's Josue Figueroa.
Josue Figueroa.
Grounded out softly back to the pitcher his first time up. Last night, Figueroa 0 for 3, reached on an error with 2 strikeouts. He's got runners on the corners. Here with 2 down in the third, trying to double the lead for FAMU, currently 1-0. Liner towards short, picked by Poyeto. He tosses to Venegas, and that ends the threat. So no runs, 1 hit, 2 left for FAMU. We go to the bottom of the third. Wildcats still looking up, but a 1-0 deficit here on the CatEye Network. We go to the bottom of the third here in Sanford, 1-0 Florida A&M.
Shortstop number 2,
Trevor Hanselman on the hill for Florida A&M. Just used 24 pitches to get out of the first 2 innings and has had some help behind him with 2 double plays by the FAMU infield. Jeter Poyeto leads off for the Cats in the frame. Breaking ball, strike 1. Hanselman looking for his first win of the year. Is 0-3, losses against Ball State, North Florida, and Mercer all back in February. Hanselman hasn't pitched since the 8th of this month against Mercer. That one down low. Poyeto, who had a big home run on Thursday night that put the Wildcats up 8-2. He puts one in the air, shallow left. That one's actually going to blow back all the way on the infield and be caught by William Brown, 1 away. If anything goes in the air to right field, it's just going to be held up. Here's the 9th batter of the game for the Wildcats, Sergio Rivera.
He's been efficient. We just getting to the end of our lineup. It was the third inning.
Yep. Rivera started 0 for 2 last night, but then had an RBI single and came around to score himself in the 6th inning when the Wildcats finally broke it open. Nobody on, 1 out after the Poyeto pop-up, and Hanselman deals upstairs.
The Cats have scored more runs in the latter part of the game than they have in the beginning. After the 4th and 5th inning, they've scored tons of runs.
Well, they've eaten up on the FAMU bullpen, as they have with every bullpen in the conference they've faced this year. That's in the air to shallow right down the line, moving over the second baseman Brown. That's a fair ball, and it dropped. Well then.
Heads up play, too, to go sliding into second base head first.
That's an error on William Brown. Well, one play after he made the nice play to track the ball that blew back in from right. That time he couldn't find it in the wind.
Matter of fact, he knocked it into fair territory because he landed in foul territory.
Yeah.
Off his glove, he landed fair.
Well, maybe that's what the Wildcats need. A little bit of luck.
Base hit by D. Lee's tie game.
He walked his first time up. Lee was caught in the double play back in the first. Wildcats turned the order over for their first time today. And Lee got hit. Breaking ball started in, continued in, and got him, looked like right behind the knee where the ACL is.
Just another way of intentional walking, I guess.
Well, now you get to Andre Martinez with two aboard. Martinez grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his first time up. Started 0 for 4 last night, but his final at-bat was the most important RBI double. That at the time put the Wildcats up 4-1.
They're playing straight up right now. There's plenty of room in the alleys.
First pitch from Hanselman. Breaking ball, caught the outside corner and low. Strike one.
That's a good take. You'd have popped that up.
Something that frustrates me about this Wildcats team is that when they get in big situations like this, a lot of time first pitch swinging, try to do something magical. That one's a strike outside, and Martinez down 0-2. Instead of trying to work counts. But now Martinez got to protect here.
Yeah. Another breaking ball right here. Nothing fast.
Rivera on second, Lee on first after an error and a hit by pitch. That one way outside. Martinez, takes it. New catcher today for Florida A&M, Ethan Miller. Brody Popple, who's played catcher the last 2 games, is in right field.
He was gunning guys out at second base.
1-2, ground ball. That's a base hit to the right side. Rounding third. Here's the throw. It's way back to the backstop. Rivera scores and we're tied at 1. The runners will advance on the bad throw. And just like that, the Wildcats are in business.
It's the errors you're talking about with Florida A&M. They had 3 errors the other night. And that error by the second baseman, not catching that fly ball, that infield fly, knocking it back fair, that's the run that just scored. Got guys on second and third now with 2 down.
Martinez single and an advance with an RBI. Rivera comes all the way around to score. Darrell Lee goes to third, and now here's Jesus Venegas, who struck out his first time up to end the first inning. But again, he was 3 for 4 last night with 2 RBIs.
Let's make him pay for it right here. We don't want to leave guys on base, especially in scoring position.
First pitch to Venegas, upstairs, ball 1. Last night, the Wildcats left 9 on base, and Thursday night they left 7 on base. So that has been one of their Achilles' heels this year.
That's frustrating. That's baseball, though.
1-0. In the air, left field, back to the track, and it bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. Scoring from third is Lee. Martinez around. 3-1 Wildcats.
Bet's coming alive right now. 2 outs, the error by Florida A&M has allowed 3 unearned runs.
Now batting for Bethune-Cookman, catcher number 22, Irvin Escobar.
Now here's Irvin Escobar, who had a hard single to left field his first time up, leading off the second, but ended up being caught in the middle of a 4-6-3 double play.
And the bullpen for Florida A&M is beginning to scatter.
He taps it foul back to the screen. We saw that early last night with Jesus Campa. Campa struggled through the first inning, gave up a home run and stranded the bases loaded, and then didn't give up another Wildcat hit till the 5th.
You know, Jamie Shute was a pitcher. You know, Jamie Shute played for the Daytona Beach Astros. That's how I know him.
I can remember. Yep. I can imagine he's a pitcher because he recruits and develops pitchers.
Yeah. He was a little left-handed stopper. He was out stopper at 5'5", man. He's a great pitching coach, too.
Breaking ball outside, 2-1 to Escobar. And then over the years, there's the train of excellent pitchers. Shute now in his 12th year at Florida A&M.
And he's a Martin guy from Florida State.
Hanselman behind 2-1. Upstairs, missed above the letters, 3-1 to Escobar.
I got a trivia for you at the end of the inning, too.
Oh, okay. There's still only one out. You go ahead and trivia.
Okay. After this pitch.
All right.
It's only one out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the pop-up by Poyeto. 3-1. Outside, ball 4, and 2 on, 1 out now.
Here's a trivia question for you. What university has a former Seminole at basketball coach and baseball?
Well, Florida A&M.
Florida A&M Rattlers. They got Charlie Ward, former Seminole at basketball coach, and Jamie Shute.
Well, after we're done today, you need to go check out the new Hail Wildcats radio podcast that drops today.
Oh, I will. I'll listen to it
because
tonight.
we have a lot to say on Florida State or Florida A&M hiring Charlie Ward. First pitch to Michael Rodriguez, inside ball 1. Rodriguez grounded into a double play his first time up.
I'll be on the beach Easter Sunday, so I think I'll listen to it while I'm on the beach tomorrow under the umbrella.
And here comes Coach Shoup.
I mean, here he is. He's going to pull him.
The Rattlers don't want this one to get away because, I mean, you come into the weekend tied, right? It's one thing to lose a series to your rival. It's another thing to get swept, and you're right, Hanselman is done. He looked really good through the first 2 innings, and then that error rattled him. And then an error, a hit by pitch, single, ground rule, double walk, and that's all the Wildcats needed to jump on top 3-1.
So, give me a little preview about Charlie Ward.
Well, I don't want to give it all the entire discussion away, but we were confused about why, right?
Big splash name.
It's a name, but if you're trying to get recruits, a young person growing up now, who's going to know who Charlie Ward is?
We don't know who Charlie Ward is.
It's the same thing with us and Reggie, right?
That's what I said. I said it's just like hiring a Reggie Theus for us. Matter of fact, on the way here, I saw Reggie sneak in a 6'9" coming in to talk to him. One of the assistant coaches rode up, and Reggie was trying to get me to come inside. I said, "No, I'm going to the ball game." And
Coach was here. He was here 2 nights ago.
Yeah. Assistant coach had a guy, man, nice kid, 6'9", 6'10". A couple of guys on campus. You got to replace that whole team anyway.
Carson Kelly's going to come in for Florida A&M. Now, this is an odd move.
The sidewinder already?
Because last night, Kelly came in a 1-1 tie ball game and gave up 4 runs.
But he sure had D. Lee's number. I know that.
Oh, correction. Sorry. He came in a 3-1 ball game and gave up 2 runs. But still. And it all kind of seems to me how narrow or shallow this FAMU bullpen is, right? Because on Friday night, they used 4 pitchers: Workman, Langley, Williams, and Sims. Last night, they used Campa, Williams again, and Kelly. And today, they've used Hanselman and now Kelly again.
You know, we always talk about Florida A&M and Alabama State and Bethune having that MEAC mentality with the pitching staff. This is going to be one of the first years I've seen Jamie a little thin at the pitching.
And they've got guys back there, but maybe not ones you trust. But this game is still relatively in the balance. So Carson Kelly, again, is a sophomore from Tallahassee. His ERA on the year is .255. 35 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 13 runs on 27 hits, just 10 earned. Striking out 32 and walking 19. He's given up 3 doubles, a triple, no homers, and his batting average against is .225. So he is the best arm statistically that Florida A&M has. And Michael Rodriguez, who's in the middle of an at-bat, fouls one off, and it's a ball and a strike.
Do you put the guys in motion right here trying to stay away from the double play?
I might, especially since you've hit into 2 already.
And there's a left-handed batter.
Rodriguez squares to bunt, drops it down first base side. Off the mound is Kelly. He missed the ball, and everybody's safe.
Beautiful bunt that time. Made the pitcher field it, and because he's a left-hander, he had to twist that glove another direction, and the ball bounced off the back of his glove.
So the Cats have the bases loaded with 1 out. Venegas to third, Escobar to second, Rodriguez aboard with a bunt single down the first base line. And this is a big spot for the sophomore Jorge Gonzalez Febo. First pitch, strike outside corner. Fabo walked his first time up, caught in the middle of a double play.
With a sidewinder like this, you got to go to right field with him. If he tries for that ball on the outside, just take it to right field.
He looks almost as square to bunt. Maybe we can squeeze someone home. Venegas is on third, not the slowest guy on the team.
And the left fielder's playing off the line. He's playing more toward the center field.
We saw Kelly last night be better against lefties than he was against righties because he'd get that tail away with the slider.
Break it open right here.
1-1. Fabo! Hard line drive! Left center field, that's going to get to the gap. Scoring from third is Venegas. Escobar right behind him. It's a 2 RBI double for Jorge Gonzalez Fabo at its 5-1 Wildcats.
He left a fastball belt high, and he just drilled it into the power alleys. 2-run score for the Cats. But got the bats going now.
And here I thought we were going to sleepwalk through this game. Michael Rodriguez goes from first to third. Fabo on to second.
First baseman number 11, Reynaldo Plasencia.
And there's the 9th batter of the inning, Reynaldo Plasencia.
Still one out.
Still 1 out. Plasencia reached on a fielder's choice his first time up back to the second. First pitch to him, low and oh, that caught the outside corner, says home plate umpire Jose Esteves.
You take it to right field. Take that little slider.
But as I mentioned, Kelly is really good against lefties, but he was shaky against righties. 0-1 outside. You look at who he gave the hits up against last night, right? It was Jesus Venegas, a righty, and Jeter Poyeto, a righty.
Yeah. He throws that slider, that thing's right in the wheelhouse for a right-handed hitter.
1-1. Came in and hit Ray Plasencia. So the Wildcats have batted around here in the third. And the batter will be Jeter Poyeto, who led off the inning with the only out so far, popped up on the infield.
Comes Jamie Poyeto with opportunity with 2 guys on.
Do you think that is you're using arms too many times in a series? Because we saw Kelly last night, and he went 2 full innings. It's not like he faced 2 batters.
But I think really what happened is I think he got out of his strategy. You know, he was throwing that slider to the left-handed hitters, but he was coming in inside to the right-handed hitters, and we just teeing off on it.
Speaking of Hail Wildcats Radio, don't miss the show today. It's on releasing, I think, is it already out? It's already out if you want to go listen to it. But yeah, wait till we're done here. Wait till we're done here. Yeah, then listen to it on the way home.
Yeah.
It's the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs, hosted by me, Michael Terrell, Bryce Winoski, and Brian Harvey. Our SID's also on there. We'll deliver unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. It's on 1380 WE, ALA Daytona Beach Radio, or anytime on your favorite podcast platform. So Kelly stays in there after the meeting for Shoop. And here is Poyeto, bases juiced, 1 out. Watches a strike at the knees.
Somebody said that Brian Harvey kind of long-winded on that podcast. He's really long-winded, Brian Harvey is.
Well, we try to keep it to under an hour.
He's the doctor as well.
The key word is try. Poyeto up the middle. That is going to be caught by Cruz. Great diving catch. Trying to score from third is Rodriguez. He's in, no throw. The throw came into third to prevent the runners from moving up, so it's an RBI for Poyeto, and there's 2 away.
That was a great catch because he missed that.
It was.
That's an inside the Parker.
Well, if he misses that, it goes to the wall, yeah. I'll give Cruz an exclamation point on that catch. He deserves it.
So P has made only 2 outs in the inning, huh?
Yep. At least that one was productive because he picked up an RBI.
Sergio.
6-1 BCU. Here's Sergio Rivera. First pitch, slider outside, ball 1. Rivera reached on an error earlier in this inning, came around to score. That was his first AB. Remember, we were maligning the fact the Wildcats were set down in order first 2 innings. Not so in this one. 1-0. That one inside.
See, that's the pitch that we've been teeing off on. He's been bringing it up around the letters. He kind of had it a little low that time.
Yeah. And the run on that slider, which is supposed to go in on the hands and jam guys up, he's been leaving it middle.
And I heard Bryce say this yesterday. After a couple of times through the lineup, you've seen him. You know how to get him.
2-0. Rivera just stays alive. That one was a change. He was way ahead of it.
So how important is it for us to play our tough part of the schedule
At the end?
now, so that when we see these guys again, we'll be really familiar with them in the
I don't know.
tournament time?
I like it because, you kind of cruise through the first part of the schedule. Yes, Jackson State was a little tough. He got tested by Southern. But your other series, Alcorn, Mississippi Valley, Alabama A&M, that one, line to left center field. That's a base hit. They messed up in the outfield. So coming around third all the way to score is Fabo. It looked like Fabo was going to be held at third, but Cruz and Jordan Brown didn't know who to give the ball to. And so Fabo jogs in 7 for Bethune-Cookman. And an RBI single for Rivera.
So after starting the game with a 1-run lead, with 7 runs, what does this do to a ball club like Florida A&M after you've beaten the first 2 games? You take the steam out of what they did?
I don't know. I mean, Bryce and I were talking after last night's game. Whoa, Darrell Lee thought that was going to hit him. See, that's the trouble with lefties against this guy, because that slider is so hard to see.
I'd like to see him do a productive at bat, because he's going to see him again tournament time.
Well, I'd like Lee to just drop the barrel and play it in left field here. Lee in the air, shallow right, coming on Popple. He'll make the catch to finally end the inning. 7 runs on 5 hits and error. And we go to the 4th. It's 7-1 BCU here on the CatEye Network. To the 4th we go. The Wildcats have broken this open with a 7 spot in the bottom of the 3rd. Matthew Perez leads off for FAMU. First pitch upstairs and in, ball 1 for Edwin Sanchez. And now with a 6-run cushion, Sanchez, who's up around 50 pitches already.
You want to throw strikes, so you don't want to get them any base runners.
You want to throw strikes. You want to get out of this, out of these innings quickly.
You want to chip at them. You want them chipping.
And I equate the performance from Sanchez right now to Jesus Campa last night for FAMU, where, yes, he's getting the outs, but he's throwing a lot of pitches to get him. Finally a strike. It's 3-1.
See somebody running down to the bullpen.
Wouldn't be surprised if the Wildcats start throwing some arms out of the pen.
Oh, my God. What was that one?
Well, missed outside. 5-pitch walk to Perez. Second walk of the game given up by Sanchez.
Got action in the bullpen.
Yep. I see Aaron Schaefer running down there. And this could turn into a slugfest now.
It has happened on getaway day.
Oh, yeah. Line drive, base hit right field. First pitch swinging by Colton Riles, who popped out his first time up. So it's not like this Rattlers team is going to go away. They want to swing the bats. And Edwin Sanchez has been giving up some decent contact. He has not looked like he did last week against Alabama A&M, where he went 7 innings, gave up just 1 run on 4 hits, striking out 8. Fouled away. And then the start before that gave up 2 runs on 7 hits against Mississippi Valley in 5 full innings. But you talk about the up and down nature of Sanchez this year. Yeah, you got those 2 really good starts. But then you get like 6 runs against Jackson State and an inning and 2/3. That time, the breaking ball found the outside part of the plate. 0-2 on Jordan Brown, who popped out on the infield his first time up. And then, UMass gave up 5.
You want to work him right here. He hasn't hit the ball much.
Yeah. The big one against Southern, 4 2/3, gave up 5 on 7 hits. That was the 14-4 loss on Sunday. And again, way outside. And I don't know what it is about Sanchez, but his command is all over the place right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gives up another one. He might be done in short order. And we could have a real slugfest on our hands as both teams go to the bullpen. That time he pumped a fastball down the middle and Brown fouled it off. I want to see him go back to that fastball in on the hands to righties. That's where he got his only strikeout so far against Jalen Niles. I don't care how big of a lead you have in a SWAC baseball game. Soft dribbler towards first, taking it himself is Plasencia. The Wildcats only get 1. That's as good as a sac bunt. The runners advance. Perez to third, Riles to second.
Jalen
Niles, who struck out his first time.
Rattlers shortstop, number 1, Jalen Niles.
The only strikeout victim so far for Edwin Sanchez. He's in a tough spot right now. Second and third, 1 out. And all it takes is 1 swing of the bat, and we're right back in this game. Well, FAMU is right back in this game, trailing 7-1.
Outside again.
That outside corner has shrunk mightily. Of course, maybe we're used to last night where the strike zone was kind of all over the place. And that outside corner was getting called a ton. Fouled straight back by Niles, 1-1.
He throws a heavy fastball. What I mean by that is the way they fouled it off, that ball always going down and it's fouled.
You talked about the rest of the schedule for the Wildcats. Next weekend at Arkansas Pine Bluff, who's really hot right now.
Oh.
That one outside again. Then at defending champs Grambling State and hosting Texas Southern and Alabama State, your last 4 series. Fouled straight back 2-2. So they play the Arkansas Pine Bluff is really good. And then the other 3 of the top 4 in their last 4 weeks of the season. 2-2, Sanchez to Niles. Upstairs, full count.
Right now, the Cats at the top of the SWAC, followed by Florida A&M and Alabama State. They're both tied at 13-4. We're at 15-2.
Wildcats would love a sweep here.
Strike
3. Niles doesn't agree with it. He's hopping mad in the strikes in the batter's box. But both strikeouts for Edwin Sanchez have been against Jalen Niles. I'm not sure he can complain much about that one. That was a good pitch.
That was right at the knees, right across the outside corner of the plate.
And now with a chance to get out of the inning, here's William Brown. Brown.
He's been pesky.
Singled to right his first time up, came around to score. That's the only FAMU run so far.
Breaking ball.
Strike outside corner. And then flied out to right field on a nice catch by Martinez in the third. Perez on third, Riles on second after a walk and a single.
Be smart right here.
Ball and a strike. Tapper foul right at home plate, 1-2.
So what do? You waste one and you go right at him?
I want to go right at him. I want a high fastball in. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Force him to either miss it or foul it off. We'll see what he dials up here. Ahead in the count 1-2. 2 on, 2 out. Upstairs, he wasted one. Well, I guess he tried.
Yeah.
He tried to go after it with the high fastball. Missed it a little bit too high. Now it's 2-2.
Yes,
Strike
sir.
3. Swing and a miss. And down goes William Brown, and the Wildcats get out of a jam. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 7-1 Wildcats here on the CatEye Network. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Andre Martinez will lead it off. Martinez grounded into a double play in the 1st and then had an RBI single. Back in the 3rd, where the Wildcats batted around +3 and put 7 runs on the board. They lead 7-1. Carson Kelly still on the hill. Whoa! Came upstairs and hit Martinez in the shoulder. And there's some soft toss going on now in the FAMU bullpen.
Yeah, the deeper you get, the deeper you get.
Now batting for Bethune-Cookman, second baseman, number 12, Jesus.
I mean, I look back at Thursday night when the Wildcats put up 8 runs, and I mean, Workman we haven't seen again, Langley we haven't seen again, Williams we've seen last night, Sims we haven't seen again.
I'm trying to see who that is down there throwing now. It's
they're running.
It's a right-hander throwing a football.
They're running the bullpen catcher down there. 1 on, nobody out. Here's Jesus Venegas. Chops it foul, 0-1. Venegas struck out his first time up, then hit a 2 RBI ground rule double to left center.
That was that slider he was throwing that came inside and hit him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got so much run on the slider, Kelly. It's great, but he's wild with it.
He's sidearm lefty, too, and he's sidewinder with it, too.
That one, a fastball, missed outside 1-1. Because when you have so much run, you got to really aim
for the outside.
For the outside corner, and it'll hit inside. Mm-hmm. And to lefties, it's great because you'll start it in the middle, and it'll trail away and induce a lot of swings and misses. But to righties, sometimes that happens. My goodness. Adios, amigos. A moonshot for Jesus Venegas. 9-1 BC. Oh, my goodness.
That thing was almost 390 feet onto the other field behind the left field wall. It's 330, and it landed 90 feet behind that.
That would have been out of the jack.
My goodness.
Wow.
And the Wildcat fans on their feet.
Let me tell you what, though. That was the slider, and he missed it middle. And Jesus Venegas just did something rude to that baseball. Wow. That may be the farthest I've seen a ball hit this year.
And that ball was high. It went over the light standards.
Holy cow. Irvin Escobar trying to follow in Venegas' footsteps, fouls it off.
It's funny to see the kids running down the ramp. By the time they get to the bottom of the ramp, the ball's gone. Kids running the ramp trying to get that foul ball.
That one caught the inside corner, so down 0-2 is Irvin Escobar. I'm going to bring up the question again. Yes, he's reached base twice, a single and a walk, and scored a run. But Escobar in the cleanup spot? He's batting sub .300 on the year.
Maybe Johnny sees something we don't see.
Yep, maybe. Although, I mean, the Wildcats are up 9-1, so.
Out of hand in front of that pitch.
Yeah. Irv made good contact.
It's in the water.
It is.
I saw a splash. And you can still see that ball floating like we're in San Francisco, huh?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't a fair ball. That time, line towards second and over the glove of William Brown. Second hit of the game for Irvin Escobar. I mean, he continues to prove both me wrong and his coach right.
And the bat's going.
2 for 2 with a walk now for Irvin Escobar.
Maybe Irv does have a hot bat, and we just consider it not to be hot. Maybe he's been hitting the ball hard, just not being.
Again, we don't see practice. We don't see all that. Here's Michael Rodriguez, grounded into a double play in the second. Reached on a bunt single in the third, came around to score as one of the 7 Wildcat runs in that inning. Rodriguez, hard foul into the dugout.
Usually at the Jack, I'm there early enough to see batting practice, but I haven't been to a batting practice this season to see how these guys are really hitting the ball. But they're tagging away at this guy here.
Now they're really teeing off on Kelly right now. Everything that's been hit has been hard. And, whoa, Kelly misses it to the backstop. Irvin Escobar is going to jog down to second on the wild pitch.
That's the fastest I've ever seen Irv run to second base. Irv got a little speed now.
Listen, I know the players listen to these broadcasts after the fact.
They do. And I know
you're gonna get an angry message on social media from Irvin Escobar.
Irv, my boy, because his girlfriend worked with me for a few years. She's at North Texas now, India.
1-1. Rodriguez watches that one trail away to the outside batter's box. But last night, those were the kind of pitches that the Wildcats were swinging and missing at. The lefties specifically, Darrell Lee, Rodriguez.
Yeah, they got his number now, man. If we see him later on in the tournament, Katie rolled by the door. Oh, you waved that one.
That's the kind of thing that the Wildcats were swinging at last night. And that's when Kelly's at his best, just frisbeeing that slider away to left-handed hitters.
That's a nice way to put it, frisbee, because he's throwing it like a frisbee.
I'm not going to call it whatever the Boston Red Sox commentator called it, as drop third strike, although they say that Miller didn't drop it behind the plate, so strikeout for Michael Rodriguez. He's down. One away in the frame. Somebody on the Boston Red Sox broadcast early in the season called the slider a frozen pizza.
Oh, my God.
And listen, I've been broadcasting and listening to baseball games for a long time. I've never heard that one. That's a new one for me.
That is a new one.
Here's Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo. Walked in the first and doubled in the second. Now he gets hit by a pitch in the fourth.
Okay, what's a frozen pizza? What does it look like?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask the guy.
Maybe it's because Boston is cool and he's palming it like a pizza or something. Maybe.
Listen, I was completely lost on that one. But here comes Shoop, and that's the end for Carson Kelly. Kelly implodes. Combined with Hanselman, he's given up 9 runs, although not a ton earned on the 2 errors, but still. We're going to have another new pitcher for Florida A&M, and I'll tell you what, walking in from the outfield, his silhouette profiles like every other FAMU pitcher.
Yeah, like my turn to get racked. Trying to see his number.
Well, Ray Plasencia is going to be the next batter for Bethune-Cookman.
I'll be getting some new eyes soon, guys. Next month, I'll be getting lazy.
Ryan Young, the freshman from Ocala, is going to be the pitcher for
Let's welcome him to college baseball. Let's welcome
Florida A&M. Not far away from here.
You know, the other night, you were asking about Archer, and I was trying to get to you. Archer's right outside of Gainesville. That's where my cousin Ricky Nattil and all the great Florida Gators are from. It's like 18 miles outside of Gainesville, like going to Daytona, New Smyrna.
9th appearance of the year for Young on the season. He's got a 4.50 ERA and 10 innings pitched. He's given up 6 runs on 10 hits, 5 earned, striking out 6, hasn't walked anybody yet. He's given up 3 doubles, no triples, 1 homer, and 4 hit by pitches. So you go from a guy in Kelly whose ERA is sub 3, but it probably won't be anymore, now to a guy whose ERA is 4.50.
He has a lively arm.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some good hits off him.
But I think that really the problem that Kelly faced is that he's a one-trick pony with that really hard slider. And once the Wildcats kind of keyed in on it, were able to get him to throw it in the middle, take pitches, they were able to tee off on him. So now it'll be Ray Plasencia. 2 already in this bottom of the 4th. Martinez lit off, was hit by a pitch. Venegas homered. Those are where the 2 runs came from. After that, Escobar singled. Rodriguez struck out. Fabo was hit by a pitch. So 2 on, 1 out. Here's Ray Plasencia. Already 9-1 Wildcats to face the new Rattler pitcher Ryan Young. And the righty deals outside, ball 1. Really good crowds this weekend at Sanford Memorial Stadium, outside 2-0. Daryl, you've been listening to our broadcast the last 2 nights, and you can't even really see or hear on the broadcast, but really good crowds. And this is probably the smallest crowd it's been all weekend here on Saturday afternoon.
I think the early start killed the crowd, because the later the start, the more people would have been here.
Slider strike at the knees, 2-1 on Plasencia.
And also, you're getting a heavy Florida A&M crowd because of the location. Then they lose the first 2 games, so a lot of people are saying, oh, well.
2-1. Plasencia puts one in the air off the end of the bat. Foul to the right-hand side over the clubhouse, 2-2. And I have enjoyed my time out here in Sanford.
Beautiful place to play baseball.
Yeah. Well, I loved all the renovations that have been done with this park over the last few years. A really, really nice place to play. 2-2. Outside 3-2.
Okay, let's start something. How about we play a series or 2 here every year?
I don't know if I'd like that. The worst thing about it is the hour drive to get out here. I mean, I live about 10 minutes from Jackie Robinson. That's really good for me. 3-2, Plasencia fouls it off.
But the atmosphere and the way the ballpark is made for BCU baseball. Yeah. That wind blowing to left field.
I wish I could clone this park and put it on campus somewhere.
Yeah. I'll put some walls at Jackie Robinson, put some hard walls out there.
3-2. Runners go. Outside ball 4, missed with the slider did Young, so the free passes continue for Florida A&M, and the bases are juiced for Jeter Poyeto. In the inning, hit by pitch, homer, single strikeout, hit by pitch, walk.
JP is put in a great position right here for another couple of RBIs.
Poyeto popped out to begin the 3rd, then got the 2nd out of the 3rd after the Wildcats batted around out of sac fly to center.
He's batted 3 times in the last inning.
And now he's got a big chance to really blow the doors off this one. With the bases loaded and 1 out here in the 4th.
Maybe Fan can crank that bus up a little early then.
With the freshman Ryan Young on the mound, Poyeto checks his swing to strike anyway.
That wind just picked up. And they're playing pretty deep left field. They're almost a couple of steps from the warning track.
Yeah, because if the ball goes in the air to left, the wind's just going to take it a long way. 1-1. Ground ball to short. That's going to be 2. Second, first, double play, and that's the end of the inning. So the Wildcats get 2 more on 2 hits and strand the bases juiced. We go to the 5th. 9-1 Wildcats here on the CatEye Network. 9-1 Wildcats as we hit the fifth here on the CatEye Network. Brody Popple will lead off for Florida A&M. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to the outfield, 1 to center, 1 to right.
Leading things off for the Rattlers. In the top of the fifth, right fielder number 6, Brody Popple.
Popple, the redshirt junior career Wildcat from right there in Tallahassee. He lines a base hit to left field down the line, first pitch swinging. Makes a big turn at first, but stays there.
Go to first.
Popple, one of those players that won the SWAC title with FAMU 2 years ago.
Okay, now I'm confused. Now, Popple, they got him listed as
Now
a
batting, right center fielder
freshman.
number 14, Justin
That's
Cruz.
incorrect.
Got to be wrong because
Yeah.
he's been around a while.
Yeah,
Unless that's his brother.
No, redshirt junior.
Okay. On here it has freshman.
Here's Justin Cruz. Fastball, strike inside corner. Cruz today, 0 for 1 with a walk. Stranded on third in the third. And grounded out to second in the first. Fouled away, 0-2. I can't imagine the leash is going to be very long on Edwin Sanchez here. Already up at 71 pitches.
Yeah, they got some bullpen action going. I see Pablo down there.
His most
covering.
on the season is 98. Foul back to the screen on a high fastball, 1-2.
They still haven't caught up to the fastball yet. They've been fouling that fastball off.
That was in the 30-5 game against Maryland Eastern Shore. He went 98 pitches in 4 innings. 0-2. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-2.
Ground ball DP right here.
He's also thrown 96 pitches twice, once against UMass and once against Alcorn State. The one against Alcorn State was probably his best start of the year, fouled away again.
What's the count?
1-2.
1-2.
Popple leads off at first after a leadoff single to left.
Runner going.
Hit and run, pop fly, center field. Popple's got to retreat back to first. Making the catch, here comes the throw. And the throw goes up the line, and Popple will be safe, but Cruz is out. F8. Nice catch by Rivera, and there's one down in the inning. I mentioned the 96 pitches that Sanchez threw against Alcorn State. His line from that game, 5 innings, 2 runs on 6 hits, 13 strikeouts.
He was really rocking and rolling that day.
Number 33, Ethan Miller.
So one down here.
He's had 9 strikeouts in a game twice, 8 strikeouts in a game twice, and 13. So when he's on, he is way on.
When he's on, he's on. Yeah.
Fouled away. Only 2 Ks today for Edwin Sanchez. Both against, one against Niles, one against William Brown.
He's being pitching to contact today. A little different.
Batter is Ethan Miller. Had an RBI single in the first. Pops it foul first base side. Placencia jogs over, but that'll go over the top of the clubhouse. Counts 0-2. So 2 singles today for Miller, both to right. Had the RBI one in the first, scoring William Brown, then was caught out 6-4 on a fielder's choice in the third after singling. Up and in, ball 1. But as Edwin Sanchez approaches 80 pitches here in just the 5th inning. South grounder past the diving glove of Fabo. 3 for 3 off the bench for Miller today.
That was a CNI single right where the third baseman couldn't get it. He was playing perfectly.
So now 2 on, 1 out, and FAMU's in the same spot they were in the last inning when they stranded 2. Now it's Josue Figueroa. I saw Jorge Gonzalez Fabo over there at third kind of flail his arms a little bit, frustrated with that one. Fastball upstairs, ball 1 to Figueroa. He's 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. Grounded out back to the pitcher in the first, fielder's choice in the third.
Ground ball to second base.
Swing and a miss on that breaking ball, 1-1. As Coach Hernandez steps out of the dugout and
Checks the bullpen.
Motions down to the bullpen. Get going. Inside, ball 2. Two walks, 3 strikeouts today for Sanchez, who hasn't been missing a lot of bats. That time he does, though. I like that little sinker. Starts at middle and it breaks down and away.
If he hits that, it's going to go right up the middle to the second baseman. That's why he's playing cheating over towards second base now.
2 on, 1 out. Figueroa stays alive. Josue Figueroa's had a tough series. 0 for 3 last night. Only reached on an error. And then 0 for 3 on Thursday, reached on a hit by pitch. So it doesn't have a hit in the series. 2-2. Inside, full count. And this may be Sanchez's last batter if he gets away from it. Wildcats still lead 9-1, but you don't want to get careless here.
Not at all.
Runners go, swing and a miss. Fastball outside corner. 4th strikeout for Sanchez, and there's 2 away in the inning. Well, when Sanchez was backed into a corner, 2 on, nobody out in the last inning, all he did was get Brown to ground out and then struck out Niles and Brown back-to-back.
He's recovered well with his back against the wall all afternoon.
Now here's Matthew Perez, singled to left center his first time up, walked in the 4th, and was stranded on 3rd, fouls it straight back. FAMU has 7 hits today, but just 1 run.
That's what you call scattering some hits.
Fastball outside, 1-1. And also, the defense has been excellent all weekend. Just 2 errors across the entire series for the Wildcats.
That's excellent play right there. I'd like to see it possibly at 1 for 3 games. Or 1 a game.
Oh, you never want to make an error ever, but sometimes they're unavoidable. Fouled straight back.
It could be a throwing error.
2-2. Well, last night, the one error the Wildcats did have was a throwing error by the shortstop. It was actually a soft hit, like routine ball hit to Poyeto and just spikes it.
Okay.
2-2. Well, that's what slipped out of Sanchez's hands. Count runs full.
Runners should be on the wheels right here. Step off and wheel and throw to second? No. You saw that the other day, right?
Yeah,
but he threw it away at first.
You don't want that. You just get the batter here. Runners go. Swing and a miss. High fastball at the letters. And down goes Perez. So for the 2nd straight inning, the Rattlers strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 9-1 Bethune-Cookman here on the CatEye Network.
Center fielder number 19, Samuel Rivera.
9-1 Bethune-Cookman as the Wildcats try to wrap up a 3-game series sweep of Florida A&M. Still only in the bottom of the 5th here in Sanford. Michael Torillo, Daryl Natil bringing you all the action here from the press box. First pitch to Rivera, fouls it straight back. If there wasn't a netting, that would be right to
here,
us.
right at us.
I remember on Tuesday, I was at UNF doing the radio for the game. They put me on the roof of the press box, and the roof was above the level of the netting. So a couple of times on foul balls straight back, I had to duck out of the way. Outside, 1-1. That pitcher is still Ryan Young, the freshman for Florida A&M. Came in the back end of last inning and got the last 2 outs as he got Jeter Poyeto to ground into a double play.
The question is, what kind of ladder did they have at UNF for you to get up on the roof?
It was not great. Remember my story that I
was it
told
Mississippi
about
Valley?
like Mississippi Valley? It was not that bad, but
Okay.
it was getting up there. That one lined to left field, but not having to move to make the catch is Jordan Brown, and there's one away. But yeah, that was an interesting one. You would think in a place like UNF, the facilities might be a little bit better than that, but it was very much like a high school press box.
They have an on-campus facility?
Yeah, and the area is really nice. First pitch strike to Darrell Lee. Lee 0 for 1 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Came around to score in the 3rd. Inside almost hit him 1-1. Yeah, and they have a nice little athletic complex, like basketball, baseball and softball, track and field, beach volleyball, soccer, all right one area. But the actual press box, it's not that great. Wildcats took that one on Tuesday 14-3, their first midweek win of the year. Lee takes a breaking ball strike. It's 2-2.
I missed that one. I don't know why I didn't get that score. I must not have watched the IG. My IG account.
2-2. Low 3-2. You gotta be following.
Yeah.
You gotta be following at BCU Diamondcats to get all the latest news and updates.
That's where I gotta go. BCU. What was I doing Wednesday night?
3-2.
WNBA draft.
No, this was Tuesday, not Wednesday.
No wonder. I waited till the wrong night. I thought it was Wednesday. That's why I didn't pay attention to anything on Tuesday night. Usually I get home and go to YouTube and I see the alert from CatEye Network.
3-2. Lee rocket down the left field line. There's a base hit. Lee's first hit of the game, and the Wildcats have a base runner with 1 out.
He was overdue.
He was, especially because he struggled last night after the home run. Went 0 for 4 after that.
Now batting for Bethune-Cookman, right field number 36, Andre.
Then on Thursday, he was red hot. 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI for Darrell Lee. Responsible for 4 of the Wildcats' 8 runs on Thursday night. Here's Andre Martinez. Breaking ball strike, 0-1. Martinez today grounded into a double play in the first. Had an RBI single in the third and came around to score, and then was hit by a pitch and scored on the Venegas home run in the 4th. Martinez looking to send that ball back to Daytona Beach, but pops it foul straight back. He's behind 0-2.
He was going from the heels. You want to give a good cut every now and then. You get at bat like this.
Martinez only has 1 home run in the series, and that was in the first inning on Thursday. He's overdue.
Maybe he can get one right here.
0-2.
Way outside.
Yeah. Well, he was intentionally walked
Twice.
Once last night and once on Thursday. So you can tell that teams are starting to not wanting to throw to Andre Martinez, who has a SWAC leading 14 home runs.
That's incredible, man. 9 homers in a month.
Yep.
Guys in the major leagues don't do that. Well, maybe a couple of guys in the Yankee uniform.
1-2. After a long look in, breaking ball misses outside. Now the catcher, Miller, not doing Young any favors with that frame job.
That ball broke early. It broke almost halfway to the pitchers, from the pitcher's mound.
2-2, 1 out, Lee on first after his single. Lee goes, swing and a miss, throw to second, ball skips into center field. Lee's going to try and go to third, and he'll get there. So Martinez strikes out. Lee goes to second on a stolen base and then takes third on an error.
It's an opportunity for a run right here.
With 2 outs, here's Jesus Venegas, who hit maybe the longest home run I've seen this season. Last time up in the 4th. Absolutely crushed one to left field. I don't know. I can't really see that far. It may be still going.
No, it landed on the soccer field. I saw it bounce.
First pitch to him with Lee on third. That's a 12-6 curve, strike one.
That was every bit almost 400 foot.
Oh, probably over 400 feet.
Yeah.
I wish we had StatCast like we do with the Jack out here. We could tell exactly how far that went. 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1.
With all this good stuff we got here, we can make it work. Nope, I bought a pair of glasses, man. That's really, really, really scientific. I'll talk about it next inning. I can wear them and talk on the phone at the same time, Bluetooth.
2-1 to Venegas. The Wildcats are red hot. If they win today, they'll have won 10 of their last 11 games.
And they have 24 wins, right? 23 wins?
They'll have 24 if they win today. Down low. Whoa. Called a strike, 2-2.
So we should be at the 30 mark by the time tournament time.
That's the goal every year, right? Coach Johnny talks about it all the time, wants to get to 30 wins. Really wants to get to 39 because that's the high water mark for a season for the BCU program. Venegas watches that outside count runs full.
I'm trying to remember what team. That was a Merville Melendez team.
It was indeed.
39 wins.
Yep.
Back in the old MEAC play.
The freshman, Ryan Young, trying to get out of this inning. Darrell Lee leads off at third. Venegas gets punched out on the outside corner, strike 3. Well, Jesus doesn't agree.
That was high.
It was, but I think in a 9-1 ball game, last game of the series, umpire maybe trying to get away. We'll curtail that, but pick up in the 6th inning as we come back. Wildcats up 9-1 here on the CatEye Network.
Colton Riles.
To the bottom, or top, of the 6th we go. Wildcats lead 9-1. New pitcher on the hill for Bethune-Cookman. It's the junior out of Miami, Julian Carrasquilla. He's got a 3.38 ERA on the year. First pitch, a bunt, and it's a beauty down the third base line. Charging is Faribault, the bare hand, the scoop, it goes into the bullpen. Going all the way to third is Colton Riles. He'll be there on a 3-base error. My goodness. That maybe be the worst error the Wildcats have committed all weekend.
I think he fielded it clean. He just didn't make the throw.
Jordan Brown is going to be pinch hit for by Ben Kim.
Now pitch hitting for FAMU, number 4, Ben Kim. Kim, pitch hitting for the Raptors.
Kim, last night, 0 for 4, 2 flyouts to center and 2 strikeouts. Carrasquilla misses outside. And then on Thursday, Kim was 1 for 4, doubled and scored. So he's 1 for 9 in the series. Strike outside corner by Carrasquilla. Full line on Julian Carrasquilla. 16 innings pitched. He's given up 7 runs on 10 hits, 6 earned. Striking out 17 and walking 12. Fastball outside, 2-1. He's allowed 2 doubles, no triples, no homers, 2 wild pitches, 4 hit by pitches, and again his ERA is .338. And his batting average against just .192.
It's not bad.
No. And he was really good on Tuesday against UNF. An inning, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, didn't allow a hit. In that 14-3 win by the Wildcats. That time he comes home with it. Right down the middle. Count goes full 3-2. Ben Kim, a mainstay for this FAMU team for a long time, the junior from Tampa. 3-2. Ground ball softly hit towards second. That'll do the job. Kim is run out 4-3, but Riles scores. And for the first time since the first inning, FAMU's on the board. It's 9-2.
That's an unearned run, right?
It is, because of the 3-base error on the throw by Fabo. And I don't know. That's a tough play by Fabo, barehanding it down the line. You almost, maybe in hindsight, would have thought that he should have held on to it and keep him at first.
That would have been a DP then.
Jalen Niles, got hit by the first pitch as that one got away from Carrasquilla.
Matter of fact, it hit him twice. Ball just bounced back and hit him again. They're going to say he didn't try to get out of the way.
And now here comes Shoop. I already put the...
And they're going to go to the third base umpire, the one who had the most trouble out of him.
I was going to say, Shoop is not happy at all.
That ball came back and hit him again after it hit the wall. It bounced back and hit it.
It's funny, I looked down and already put the hit by pitch in the scorebook, so there has been some odd officiating this weekend. I mean, yesterday it was really bad, but today it's been better.
Let's see what they say.
But that one, I mean, last night, if you were listening and you heard Bryce and I go off about the batter's interference call against Darrell Lee when he stood stock still, never left the box.
Yeah, I watched that play. They're going to say he didn't move. So they're going to call it a ball.
Wow. So Niles has to get back in the box, and the count's just 1-0.
And the Rattler fans don't like it.
Well, if the shoe was on the other foot, we wouldn't like it either, so. 1-0 from Carrasquilla. Spiked it, and Julian has been all over the place.
Here comes Johnny out to see him. They're going to go to the left-handed. That's it.
Wow. Hernandez knows that Carrasquilla does not have it, and that's it. Just 2 batters. And really, I mean, the run's not going to go against him because it's not his fault because it was an error.
He pitched 3 days ago, so maybe his arm is has a little bit of wear on it.
Maybe, but that's a really quick hook. But again, the pitch pattern from Carrasquilla was so wild.
Yeah.
But what you can't do as the Wildcats is let FAMU come back in this game. They are perfectly capable of putting up 9 runs themselves. Although if you look at the stats in the SWAC, if you look at total runs, Bethune-Cookman is first with 361. Florida A&M is 10th at 219 runs on the season. Brandon Vasquez is going to come in and pitch for the Wildcats. So a quick trip to the mound for Julian Carrasquilla. And Brandon Vasquez is going to take over.
Lefty. It's been the left-handers that's giving FAMU the most problems.
Yep. Vasquez, the junior from West Palm Beach, transferred from Miami-Dade College. Also played at Cardinal Newman High School before that. Making his 11th appearance of the season, Vasquez. His ERA is 10.13. He's given up 21 runs on 25 hits, 18 earned. Striking out 13 and walking 12. He's allowed 4 doubles, 4 homers, no triples. 1 wild pitch, 1 hit by pitch.
So he's basically an arm right now here in the 5th.
But, again, at North Florida on Tuesday, an inning and 2/3, just no runs on 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He was really good.
I think it's going to be arms by committee here. So with 1 down, nobody on, new pitching change for the Cats. Bullpen still going. So stepping in right now, the number 1, Jalen Miles, shortstop.
Niles 0 for 2 with 2 Ks today. Both of them against Edwin Sanchez. There's a strike, low and away. It's in the middle of a batter, so the count is 2-1.
2-2.
Because he fouled it off.
That ball bounced back and hit him.
Jalen Niles on the year, 253 his average. No homers, 3 RBI for Niles. Only 1 extra base hit, a double. And he puts one in the air to center field. Rivera tracking, jogs in, makes the catch, 2 away. Not a great day for Niles.
Yeah, good to see him come in and throw some strikes and get them out really quick. Shut down anything FAMU has going.
And that's what Carrasquilla didn't do. He didn't throw strikes. And I think that's why he got pulled. Yes, that run doesn't really go against him because of the 3-base error and then the sacrifice, but the optics didn't look good, and I think Johnny would rather just try and get out of here with as little damage as possible. That one, a strike right down the middle. William Brown stands in. Singleton scored in the first, flied out to right in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th for William Brown. Fouled it off 3rd base side, 0-2.
Quickly 0-2. The 2 out.
Brown on the year batting .271. Had a home run last night. Upstairs, 1-2.
Good-looking leadoff hitter for the Rattlers.
Yeah, so Brown last night hit the solo home run on the first pitch of the game, 1-2, outside 2-2. Then the Rattlers didn't get another home run until the leadoff solo home run by Justin Cruz in the 9th. Soft grounder. That will barely roll foul outside of 3rd.
On the stream, that home run looked like a fly ball that's going to get caught. He just kept going back.
Well, that's, if you look at the flag out beyond center field, you can see why. Because it was doing something similar to what it is right now. Just ripping out to left.
You want to get him with a fastball up in the end right now.
Wind gusting up towards 18 miles an hour out to left field. 1-2 on Brown.
That was the up and in pitch.
Yeah, punched foul. Well, I think Vasquez wants to follow in the footsteps of what Sanchez was able to do and just jam those hitters up on inside fastballs.
And they look alike on the mound, too. Both short lefties. Upside.
Yeah, missed it.
What's it, 3-2?
2-2. This Wildcats bullpen has been better of late over the last couple weeks, but early on in the year, swing and a miss. That's the end of the inning. I'll finish my point quickly. Early on in the year, it didn't look like there were going to be anything special, especially with Pablo Torres just recovering from injury. Marcos Gamboa is still out as well. But Just one run, no hits, an error, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Wildcats still up 9-2 here on the CatEye Network. We go to the sixth here in Sanford, 9-2. Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M got one back on an error and a sacrifice. And Irvin Escobar, who's been really good tonight, 2 singles and a walk, leads off. And he puts one in the air right center field, but that's gonna, it's gonna drop. The wind pushed it down in front of Cruz, and it's a 3rd single for Irvin Escobar.
So Irv has really made a good count on being a cleanup hitter.
Oh, yeah.
This afternoon.
Single walk for Irvin Escobar. And the
Number 14.
Armani Newton's going to come in and pinch hit for Michael Rodriguez.
Yeah, Armani's been struggling as of late.
Next hitter, number 14, Armani Newton.
The Wildcats made this exact same substitution last night after Michael Rodriguez struggled. But Newton didn't come in and do much better. He struck out looking and flew out to center in 2 plate appearances. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1. Ryan Young, the freshman, is still on the hill for Florida A&M. He's done well, hasn't given up a run, just 2 hits. And stranded 2 and an inning and 2/3 so far. That one's down low, 2-0 on Armani Newton. Newton on the season batting .245, 28 runs on 24 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 6 homers, and 14 batted in. 2-0. Watched a breaking ball inside, 3-0. We thought coming into the year, Darryl, and I know we talked about this early on, Armani Newton, the transfer from Florida Gulf Coast, was going to be the big power threat in the lineup, and he's been thereabouts, but it hasn't been consistent.
Yeah, early in the year, he was swinging a hot bat. He's cooled off a little bit. And we'd like to see him get that bat going again around tournament time.
I mean, he hit 2 homers, in the 3rd game against Stony Brook.
Mm-hmm. He was leading the team in homers and RBIs.
Then he got 2 against Maryland Eastern Shore, 1 against Southern, and 1 against Alabama A&M last weekend. He's ahead in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike against Young. And he pops it up. Foul territory, 3rd base side, tracking Perez near the dugout. The wind just blows it on top of the clubhouse.
Yeah, and he was waving it foul, too. He wanted that one foul.
So now it's 3-2.
Anytime you got the green light at 3-1, make sure that's a pitch you can chomp on. He fouled it away, so it's full count now with D. Lee over at first.
Justin Lopez is now at short for FAMU, as well as Ben Kim in left. 2 defensive substitutions for the Rattlers. 3-2.
Irv going.
Newton grounds it foul. Just ahead of that off speed there.
You got Irv batting cleanup and hitting and running with him.
You can tell how much Irv wants this. I mean, Newton, career Wildcat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants to beat FAMU every time you see him.
Yep.
A lot of bitter taste last couple of years up at the SWAC tournament.
And he was on that team. One of the few that's still here that was on that team. Marcos Gamboa. Sergio Rivera. That's really it in the starting lineup. 3-2 again on Newton here. Armani strikes out. They're going to throw down to second, and the ball is not grabbed by Lopez. So stolen base for Irvin Escobar, but a strikeout.
He had a 3-1 count. He struck out.
Yep. Well, the DH spot in this whole series has not been good. I mentioned last night, combined Michael Rodriguez and Armani Newton were 0 for 3 with 2 walks. And then on Thursday, Armani Newton was 0 for 3 with a walk. First pitch outside, ball 1 to Jorge Gonzalez Fabo. Fabo today has taken 2 free passes, a walk in the second, a hit by pitch in the fourth, and had a 2 RBI double in the third, and eventually came around to score in that 7-run frame that gave the Wildcats their big lead that they've only extended since. But the Wildcats haven't scored since the fourth. Now with Escobar in scoring position with 1 out, although Irvin not the fastest guy in the world. Just tapped foul by Fabo. The Wildcats are 2 a man swinging for the fences right now.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to run rule them.
But you do that by being patient, just putting bat on ball, not trying to put one beyond the fence. Upstairs, 3-1. So second straight 3-1 count.
But when you see Old Glory almost flat out like that, you can't help but want to try to jack one.
Well, this is Ryan Young's game right now. There's nobody up in the bullpen for FAMU. Outside, ball 4. Fabo draws his 3rd free pass of the game.
Fabo has a great eye.
I'm going to go back and look while Ray Placencia gets ready to hit. See how many walks / hit by pitches Fabo has this weekend. He's 3 today.
First baseman, number 11, Ronaldo
2 last night, that's 5. And 1 in game 1. That's 6 free passes on the series.
It doesn't hurt the average at all either.
Nope. That just spikes your OBP. 2 on 1 out. Now here's Ray Placencia. First pitch outside, ball 1. Placencia, technically 0 for 0. Fielder's choice, hit by pitch, walk.
OBP, that's on base percentage, folks.
Yeah. As opposed to OPS, which is on base percentage plus slugging percentage. Slugging percentage is the total number of bases you've hit for.
It used to be just total bases. Now they call it something else. It's so much technology.
Well, total bases is still a stat that I have on my sheet here. For instance, the team leader in total bases for Bethune-Cookman is Andre Martinez with 95. Placencia watches one down Broadway, 1 and 2. One, 2. Outside, 2 and 2. The Wildcats have struck out 5 times tonight. Florida A&M has struck out 6 times.
Wind just kicked up again. Old Glory's flat out. I can see all 50 stars right now.
Irvin Escobar on second. Fabo on first after a base hit and a walk. And Placencia was completely crossed up on that one.
He swung when the ball was in the mitt.
Now both teams have struck out 6 times. Well, it would have been called strike 3 anyway because it was down the middle. Now with 2 away, here's Jeter Poyeto, who has had an unfortunate day. Poyeto popped out on the infield to start the 3rd. That was the inning the Wildcats scored 7 and batted around. He came up again with 1 out in the 3rd and flew out to center field. Did pick up an RBI on a sac fly for that one. Then after that, with a runner with 2 on in the 4th, pounded into an inning-ending double play.
JP needs a hit right here.
Jeter Poyeto, of course, on Thursday night broke the game open with a 3-run home run in the 6th. Took it from a 5-2 game to an 8-2 game. Young's 1-0 in there for a strike.
There's some kid down there begging for food. You hear him?
Yeah. Two on, 2 out. Wildcats trying to put more on the board here. Soft
Right
grounder.
side.
That's going to find a gap. Irvin's going to take the turn and head back to 3rd because Popple was playing very short in right field and charged in to get that one. But a little seeing eye single for Gito Poyeto, his first hit of the game.
Looks like a line drive in the scorebook.
Loads the bases. Escobar to third, Fabo to second, Poyeto to first. The batter is Sergio Rivera, who reached on an error in the third. That started all the...
Yeah, the pop-up that was not fair, and he dropped it.
Started the whole thing. Popped it up just the foul territory and was off the glove of William Brown, the second baseman. And the Wildcats set 9 more to the plate without getting an out, scoring 7. Then also in that third inning, he came around again and knocked a RBI double to left center field.
Base hit right here could do some real damage.
He'd love another one of those right now. Watches one tail away to the outside batter's box, 2-0. Although a walk is as good as a single. Still gets you an RBI. And now there's a man up and throwing in the FAMU bullpen. Two strikeouts for the Cats in this inning, but also 2 singles and a walk. Rivera, pop fly, left-hand side. The wind's going to push it out of play. Rivera just ahead of that one. 2 balls, 1 strike now.
Let's see a line drive in the alley right here.
Even though the Cats are up 9-2,
it's still not over.
Still not over. I'd love some more insurance, especially with the bullpen not looking great for Bethune-Cookman. 2-1. Dribbler right in front of the home plate. The catcher, Miller, makes the play, and the Wildcats strand the bases loaded for the second time in the game. No runs, 2 hits, 3 left. We go to the 7th, 9-2 Bethune-Cookman here on the CatEye Network.
Right fielder number 6, Brody Popple.
We go to the 7th here in Sanford. Wildcats with a 9-2 lead. Brody Popple fouls the first pitch off from Brandon Vasquez, who continues after coming in and getting the last 2 outs of the 6th. 0-1. Vasquez works quickly. That one's right back up the middle, base hit. 8 hits for the Rattlers tonight. Just 2 runs. And now here's Justin Cruz, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. I said it in between innings, Darryl, right after we got off the air and went to break. I said we have not been able to put this team away.
Even though we have 9 runs, they're still much alive.
Wildcats have left 9 on base so far today. Florida A&M's left 8. Wildcats left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th. Vasquez gets Cruz to tap it back to the screen. Bethune-Cookman still riding that 7-run third inning and 2 in the 4th off the home run by Jesus Venegas. Vasquez misses outside. Edwin Sanchez for Bethune-Cookman went 5 innings, gave up 1 run on 7 hits, struck out 5, walked 2. Ground ball to second, could be 2. Flip to second for 1, on to first, and it gets away. Well, I'll tell you what happened on that one. Cheater Poyeto tripped over the second base bag as he was trying to make the throw.
Yeah.
And the throw went way high. Thankfully, Justin Cruz stays on first. It's only a fielder's choice, 1 away in the inning.
A great play by Irv backing him up, and he even went and tagged the runner just in case he made that turn to second base.
Number 33, Ethan Miller.
Here's Ethan Miller, who has been excellent this afternoon. 3 for 3, 3 singles and an RBI.
Double play ball right here.
In the dirt, ball 1 from Vasquez. So Edwin Sanchez started for the Wildcats, went 5 innings. Gave up 1 run on 7 hits, struck out 5. Then Julian Carrasquilla came in. That one lined down the left field line. That's going to be fair and head to the corner. 4 for 4 and probably going to get 2 RBI. As rounding third and staying there is Justin Cruz.
They're going to call obstruction on the shortstop. Our shortstop almost ran over their runner. Third base umpire didn't see it.
So Miller, a double down the third base line.
They didn't see it. He almost tripped up their runner.
Yeah, I saw that.
Jamie Shoup was still adamant about it.
Well, Shoup's had a couple of issues with the officiating today. Jalen Niles got hit and then had to stay in the box. The home plate umpires did it and just tried to get away. But anyway, second and third, 1 out. FAMU in business here. Josue Figueroa, who is 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice. Well, Brandon Vasquez has not been doing himself any favors.
21, Josue Figueroa.
Comes Johnny.
That might be it for Figueroa because he's lost a lot of command. You know who I'd like to see here if they do go to a change? And I can't see who's warming up for the Wildcats because it's blocked by the clubhouse. I'd like to see Pablo Torres here.
Well, Pablo was guarding the bullpen. Somebody else is guarding. Maybe he's warming up.
Just to try and come in and settle things down here, get a veteran presence on the mound. Because Carrasquilla wasn't great. Vasquez, came in and did the job, got 2 outs. But in this inning, hard single up the middle. Fielder's choice, hard double to left field. Vasquez is going to stay in there, though, to face Josue Figueroa. Figueroa second on this team in RBI this season with 24. Chance for 2 more here. Cruz on third, Miller on second. That's a strike as a slider arcs through the zone.
John's going to play the infield double play depth.
Well,
Double
he
play
can't.
depth. It's not a force
There's
anywhere.
no force anywhere, second and third. Ground ball towards third. That's best case scenario for the Wildcats. Fabo throws across, 2 away, and the runners had to stay put.
He might dig himself out of this one, too.
Well, how many times have the Wildcats done that? In the 4th inning, well, even going back to the 3rd inning, runners on the corners, 2 down.
Matthew Perez.
Sanchez got Figueroa to ground into a fielder's choice to end the inning. With 2 on, nobody out in the 4th,
No, that's it.
Sanchez got Brown to ground out.
That's
Niles and William Brown to strike out twice. To strand 2.
Let's see if Pablo's coming in.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then in the 5th, 2 on, 1 out, 2 straight strikeouts by Sanchez. That was his last appearance on the mound in the 5th.
Another right-hander now.
So the Wildcats have gotten themselves out of some tricky situations with some timely pitching and defense this afternoon. So now 2 outs with runners on second and third. And Brandon Vasquez is done. Responsible for both runners. Not sure who the new pitcher for the Wildcats is yet, as he's still in that huddle. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Make sure you are representing BCU Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to BCUathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's BCUathletics.com and click on shop. New pitcher for the Wildcats is Logan Wirtz.
Got a question for you. Maybe the SID can answer this one too. Got a good question. No, we wear Nike apparel, right? But if we got a sponsor, say we got a sponsor, Target or something, can we put it on our uniform? Can't do that.
No, that's a college rule. That's not.
Okay.
Yeah. Logan Wirtz, the junior from Orlando Dr. Phillips High School grad, comes in. 7th appearance of the season for Wirtz. He's sporting a .482 ERA. Wirtz, in 9 1/3 innings pitched, has given up 7 runs on 9 hits, 5 earned, striking out 6 and walking 8. He's given up 2 doubles, no other extra base hits, 2 wild pitches, and 7 hit by pitches on this season. And I will, again, talk about his last 2 appearances, which were great. Against North Florida, an inning, 2 strikeouts, no hits, no runs. And against South Florida, on the 1st of the month, 1 run on 2 hits with 2 strikeouts in 3 innings.
Okay, it's 2 out now. Runners to second and third.
And the batter is Matthew Perez. Singled in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, struck out in the 5th. Wildcats still up 9-2. They have stranded 8 Rattlers so far today. That's a nice curve that catches the inside part of the plate. 0-1. Fouled straight back off the end of the bat. 0-2. Wildcats looking to strand 2 more Rattlers to make it an even 10. Then both teams will have stranded 10.
Come with a fastball outside part of the plate here.
0-2.
Get him to chase.
He went with the fastball. It's in the air to shallow center. Rivera watches it into the glove, and the Wildcats get out of it again. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Wildcats looking for more insurance here, up 9-2 on the CatEye Network. The top of the order, the top of the order will lead us off as we go to the bottom of the 7th. 9-2 Bethune-Cookman. New pitcher on the hill for Florida A&M. Trenton Langley, the graduate student from Crawfordville, Florida. The sidearm righty throws a first pitch strike down and away.
Now, where's Crawfordville? Where's that?
Not off the top of my head, I would not know. Do you know? Lee in the air right field. The wind is going to make that one die, but it's going to be scooped up by Popple. Really nice catch.
Yeah. The wind helped him on that. Held that ball up. Good contact by D. Lee.
And now it'll be Andre Martinez.
Number 36 right fielder, Andre Martinez.
Martinez grounded into a double play in the first, singled and scored in the third with an RBI attached. Was hit by a pitch and scored in the fourth, came in on the home run by Venegas and struck out in the fifth. Langley hit him. So now Martinez has been hit twice in the ballgame. Langley's ERA on the year is 6.92. 13 innings pitched. He's given up
Second baseman, number 12.
11 runs on 12 hits, 10 earned, striking out 11, walking 13. He's given up 7 doubles, no other extra base hits, hit 4 batters, now 5, and thrown no wild pitches. Once again, his ERA 6.92. He came in on Thursday, strike outside corner to Venegas, and through an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, all earned, walking 2 and striking out 2. He was the first off the bench on Thursday. Immediately gave up a single to Irvin Escobar. He was moved over on a sac bunt, and then Darrell Lee doubled him in. And then in the next inning, he allowed a double, a walk, a fielder's choice, and then he was responsible for all those runners when Jeter Poyeto hit a 3-run home run off of Williams. He's ahead in the count 1-2 on Jesus Venegas. A ground rule double and a home run today, and 2 runs scored for Jesus. He's had a really good day at the plate after not so great of a week before today. Martinez on first after getting hit by a pitch. With 1 away here in the 7th, 9-2 Wildcats. Side armor deals, breaking ball outside, 2-2. Threw 40 pitches in 1 2/3 innings on Thursday night, did Langley. 2-2.
Way outside.
Yeah. Look at where Langley sets up on the rubber. He's almost off the rubber.
Off the rubber.
All the way to the right-hand side.
You can't really see the rubber because of the clay, but he's way at the right corner.
Barely his toe touching it. 3-2. Venegas swings and misses at a sinker, and that's his 3rd strikeout of the day for Jesus. So he's been feast or famine today. 3 strikeouts, a homer, and a 2 RBI ground rule double.
He wears the collar today, or the hat trick.
So now it's Irvin Escobar,
Who's
been unbelievable. Singled in the
singles.
2nd, walked and scored in the 3rd, singled in the 4th, and singled in the 6th. And he pops one up, foul territory, headed toward the Wildcat dugout, and the catcher makes the catch, and that's a quick inning for the Cats. Nothing, 1 left on a hit by pitch. We go to the 8th, still 9-2 Cats here on the CatEye Network.
Boston Royals.
6 outs to get for the Cats. We're in the top of the 8th. Wildcats lead 9-2, looking for the sweep of Florida A&M. Colton Riles leads off. Logan Wirt back on the mound for Bethune-Cookman. Misses that slider upstairs. It's not for lack of trying for FAMU. They have 11 hits, but just 2 runs. As really timely pitching and defense has gotten the Wildcats out of some tough jams. 7 Ks for the Cats today. One. Check swing. Did he go? Yes. He went around, and that ball was all the way out in the outside batter's box. So it's now 1-2 on Colton Riles. Riles today popped out to shallow center in the 2nd, singled and was stranded on 2nd in the 4th, and reached on an error in the 6th that came around to score. That was the slow roller he bunted leadoff. And Fabo made an ill-advised throw over to first. After that, Riles was on 3rd after a 3-base error, and then all it took was a ground-out RBI by Ben Kim to get him in. 2-2 now. Fastball popped up on the infield first base side. Venegas makes the catch on the move. 1 away.
You know, I know it's early. We still have a few more outs, but it's been a while since I've seen the Wildcats dominate a division like we're doing now. Since our own MEAC days when we won 15 straight MEAC championships, kind of seeing this program turn a corner. We still have another tough month to go in this season, but I want to see the Cats continue to play great baseball.
Well, and I was scanning the social medias this morning, and a lot of BCU fans on there are. Here's the first pitch. Fastball striking the knees to Ben Kim. But a lot of BCU people are happy and are talking about it after a series win and potential sweep for the Wildcats this weekend. 0-1. Kim fouls it away. That's going to hit the water again.
Splash.
But listen, this program, and I'm not just talking about baseball, I'm talking about everything, has proven nothing. We have 1 SWAC title since we've been in the league. That's cross country.
It's time to put some swag hardware up.
Not sure where that missed, but called a ball by home plate umpire Jose Esteres. So it's 1-2. Wirt deals. Swing and a miss. Got him on the slider, and there's 2 away. But again, this is probably the team that has looked closest to maybe challenging for a SWAC title in any sport.
Was there a regular season champion too? If we come in first?
The softball won a couple the first 2 years, but fell in the tournament. Speaking of softball, they're at Florida A&M this weekend. Because of all the tragedy that happened to Florida State, their series got pushed back to today and tomorrow. So they just started about an hour ago, their first game. Breaking ball, sky-high pop on the infield. Placencia tracking. Venegas is there. And the second baseman squeezes it. 1-2-3. For the Rattlers. The Wildcats have 3 outs to get. Maybe looking for some more insurance before then as we go to the bottom of the 8th here on the CatEye Network. Potential last time up for the Wildcats here in the ball game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Armani Newton will lead off.
Number 14, Armani Newton.
Trying to get out of a bad weekend for Armani. 0 for 2 last night. And then 0 for 3 with a walk on Thursday. He doesn't have a hit yet in the series. Watches a ball outside, first pitch.
And he's way at the edge of that thing.
Trenton Langley still on the hill for FAMU to close this one out. That's a strike up and in.
You got a couple of sidewinders, huh?
Yeah, one lefty, one righty. Kelly the lefty, Langley the righty. Up and in, that time missed the zone, 2-1. But really, those are the guys the Wildcats have done the damage against in this game, in this series. Newton watches one outside
way
corner.
outside. Anytime he steps across, that ball's going outside. When he steps straight down, he's throwing it inside. I picked that up.
Let's see if Newton can, and here's the 2-2. And he tangles him up on the inside corner. Strike 3. The Wildcats have really just, they broke it open in the third, two more in the fourth, and that's it.
Took their foot off the gas.
Took their foot off the gas.
Now batting, third baseman number 29, George Gonzalez-Bego.
The Wildcats have struck out 8 times this afternoon. Here's Fabo. Nice frame job outside by Miller.
You see how he stepped across, but to the right-handed batter, that thing is like a slider.
0-1.
Look out,
Johnny. Well, he got hit by Fabo on Thursday night.
He should wear a shin guard on his arm or something, an arm guard, and a mitten over there on third base.
Just put up a big pane of glass in front of him. Fabo strikes out, 2 away. Wildcats are coasting towards the end of this series.
Yeah, they know the Easter egg is going to be out tomorrow. You know, it's time for some church and some beach. They had the Easter beach run this morning. I started to go over there.
We've got a pinch hitter here. Peter Vasquez is going to pinch hit for Ray Plasencia.
Peter Vasquez.
Peter Vasquez. Not had a great year offensively. Pops it foul, 1-1. Only 18 at-bats off the bench. 6 runs scored on 1 hit. It was a double with 2 RBI. That 1 hit was back against UMass all the way on February 22nd. But again, only 17 games played and 18 ABs for Vasquez. Fouls it away again, 2-2. Wildcats 3 outs away from a series sweep of Florida A&M here.
A&M has scored only, 8 runs in the series? 7 or 8 runs?
I got 3 on Thursday, 2 last night, and
2 today.
2 today.
7 runs.
7 runs.
We got that many already. Today.
We had that many on Thursday night. We won 8-3. Vasquez walks, and the Wildcats have a base runner with 2 down, and the batter will be Jeter Poyeto.
Let's do some damage right here with the walk.
Poyeto, 1 for 4, popped out in the third, flied out to center in the third. That was when they batted around. That was a sac fly RBI. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the 4th, and then singled to right field with 2 outs in the 6th and was stranded on first. That was when the Wildcats left the bases loaded. Poyeto, slow grounder towards second, fielding is Brown, and that's the end for the Wildcats offensively in this contest. 2 strikeouts and a ground out works around the walk. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Cats need 3 outs to get out of it here on the CatEye Network.
Rattlers, second baseman number 5, William Brown.
Well, it's the top of the order who's going to try and keep the Florida A&M Rattlers alive in this series. William Brown leads off. He has one of the two Rattler runs in the game. He swings and misses at the first pitch from Logan Wirt. Led off the game with a single to right center. High pop. Shallow center. Rivera stands under it, makes the catch, one away. Rivera's had a lot of work to do out in center field today.
He's had them sunglasses down most of the afternoon, too, because I've been seeing that glare as he corralled those balls out in shallow center field.
And here's Brody Popple. 2 for 4. 2 flyouts in the first and third, and then 2 singles in the fifth and seventh for Popple. Breaking ball caught the outside corner, 0-1. Did that hit him?
Foul.
No, foul ball off the knob of the bat, so 0-2.
Nothing is going their way this series for FAMU. Can't even get hit by a pitch and get on base.
Well, coming up next, FAMU closes the year. Doesn't get easier because they go home, they get Grambling, the reigning champs. 0-2. Launch to right field, but foul. But then they get kind of a soft end of the schedule. Alabama, A&M, Texas Southern, and Alcorn their last 3 series. So FAMU's going to be up there. Yeah. It's going to be up to BCU to continue to win games and continue to put pressure on that 1 seed. Because the Wildcats have Arkansas Pine Bluff next weekend, who's red hot. Arkansas Pine Bluff's looking to sweep Southern this afternoon. 1-2. Popple fouls it away. Then home against Alabama State, last series at Jackie Robinson. Then at Grambling, home against Texas Southern. That is a murderer's row to end the season. Again, Pine Bluff is on fire right now. Bama State is going to jump Florida A&M into second. Grambling State's the reigning champs, and Texas Southern's in third. We're really going to see
what we're made of,
what this BCU team is made of coming down the stretch.
I think it plays great that we have to play a tough schedule because by the time we get to SWAC, we'll be ready for those guys.
Foul away.
I think by seeing them late in the year and having some success against them, it'll carry over into the tournament.
Getting you some scores from yesterday in the SWAC. Pine Bluff beat Southern 13-3. So they've run-ruled Southern twice. Texas Southern beat Prairie View 15-5. Popple fouls another one back. Jackson State beat Bama A&M 14-4. Bama State beat Valley 12-9. And Grambling State beat Alcorn 22-7. I'm going to see if I can find some live stats for the games that are going on today. Breaking ball, strike 3, sit down, Brody Popple. And he knew it, too.
He knew it.
So the Wildcats 1 out away. Mississippi Valley State takes game 3 over Alabama State 8-5.
So
Valley continues to hang around at the bottom of the playoff conversation.
That's a huge loss for Alabama State.
Yeah. No live stats for Southern against Pine Bluff.
They're going to be tied with FAMU now in second place.
Jackson State and Alabama A&M are tied at 7 in the top of the 8th. 3-game of that series. Fastball strike. Justin Cruz batting for FAMU. Last chance for the Rattlers in the game. Work deals, called strike outside corner. Down to their last strike. And Prairie View has taken the 3rd game of the series from Texas Southern. So Texas Southern goes 2 out of 3 in that series. 3-1 that final score. Wirt, the 0-2. Way outside, looking for a swing. Not going to get there. This will be the first time the Wildcats have swept the Rattlers at home in my memory. It's always been 2 out of 3. 1-2. In the air, right-hand side. Just over the glove of Fabo at first. And FAMU has a 2-out base runner.
And the fans are like they just tied the game.
A batter for FAMU, catcher number 33.
Oh, because it was a pinch hitter, my apologies, not Justin Cruz.
That's why his parents down there cheering.
It was Josh Bell. Here's Ethan Miller, 4 for 4 tonight, Miller. Single, RBI single in the first, single in the third, single in the fifth, double in the seventh. Ground ball to third, and it hops over Vasquez's glove and into foul territory. That's going to be a double, and second and third now for FAMU.
Just showing a little life here. Figueroa with 2 down, runners in scoring position.
Now batting for the Rattlers, first baseman number 21, Josue Figueroa.
Jose Figueroa, 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice today. Ground outs in the first and seventh, struck out in the fifth. Wildcats just need 1 out here, up 9-2. Logan Wirt gonna stay on the mound. Called strike at the knees. So the Wildcats will be the #1 team in the conference after this weekend. Swing and a miss. And for the second time in the inning, FAMU down to their last strike.
They've left, what, 10 runners on this afternoon? Let's make it 12.
And they've left 2 on 4 times. 0-2 from Wirt. Swing and a miss. Make it, they've left 2 on 5 times. This one belongs to the maroon and gold. They sweep Florida A&M here in Sanford this weekend. They go to 24-16 and 16-2.
Great week of baseball for the Wildcats. You know, you go up to Jacksonville and you score 14 runs on North Florida, and then you come down here to Sanford and you sweep your arch rivals, the Rattlers of Florida A&M. The Cats now atop the Southwest Athletic Conference with a record of 16-2. But the second place teams, Alabama State and Florida A&M now are knotted because Alabama State lost this afternoon. Great baseball this weekend, guys.
What have you seen this weekend? Your takeaways from the whole series?
I saw some great pitching by the Wildcats. You know, our bats are always going to be there, but the pitching has really turned the table for the Cats in this series.
Final line score of this one, Bethune-Cookman 9 runs on 11 hits. They made 1 error and left 11 on. FAMU 2 runs on 12 hits. They made 3 errors and left 12 on. And 5 times in the game, they left 2 on.
And this ballpark, we're still undefeated in this ballpark, aren't we?
We are. Swept Valley, swept FAMU. But we won't be back here for a while. The next time we're back in Sanford is, I believe, that's the last series of the season. We host Texas Southern on May 15th.
Maybe we can catch them jet lag. And yeah, they have some pretty good pitchers, too. We saw a kid last year on the mound, a big kid with the big afro with the cap. Remember him? He's from Texas Southern.
So we got some time to kill because we got to wait for Coach Hernandez to get up here. And so let's go through the standings in the SWAC before today's games. Bethune-Cookman 15-2. FAMU and Bama State both 13-4. They're both now 13-5. Texas Southern lost today. So that could have been a 3-way tie for second if Texas Southern had won today, but they didn't. Grambling State is 12-5 as well. Pine Bluff at 8-6, Jackson State and Southern at 7-10, Prairie View 4-10, Valley at 5-13, A&M 2-15, Alcorn 1-16. So if Grambling State takes care of business against Alcorn, they will jump to 4th. Texas Southern will drop to 5th. Bama State and Florida A&M tied for 2nd.
You know, I was talking with somebody earlier today, and we were talking about how Johnny has built his team. You know, last couple of years, we were station to station, and we were scrapping for runs, and we was playing small ball. But this year, we got some bigger bats. We got a guy with 14 home runs on the year, and we got a couple of more guys with 5 and 6 home runs. So you got to pick your poison with BCU now. You know, they can hit the long ball or they can play small ball, and that's going to play very, very well when we get to the tournament and even possibly in the playoffs if we ever make it to the playoffs.
Well, the tournament is going to be so different, right? Because we're used to being at Georgia Tech the last couple of years. We're now going to be in an unknown stadium out in Birmingham. So there's a lot of unknowns, right? But if you can go into the tournament playing ball like this, and this was the most important series of the year. Rivalry series, 1 versus 2, at home, and you swept them. Did it look pretty all the time? No, the offense struggled a bit. But, they broke it open with 7 runs in the third today and didn't really need anything after that, even though they got the 2 more on the home run by Venegas. But the last 2 nights, the offense didn't look as dominant as it has been recently. But what do you do when the offense is not as good? You turn to the pitching. Just ridiculous pitching. You said it. The whole series, 7 runs. We scored more than that on Friday night. We scored more than that today.
FAMU came in the number 1 team in the SWAC, with a record of 15-2, and they had been, scoring a lot of runs. But just piggybacking on what Bryce said yesterday, they didn't show the energy that they've shown most of this season. So maybe they aren't who we think they are.
And to me, for FAMU, the biggest issue was the errors, right? 3 today, 3 last night, and 1 Thursday. And a couple that maybe could have been called errors but weren't called errors, just mental mistakes and misplays, and it's just uncharacteristic of a coached team to be this lackadaisical.
Yeah, like Jamie has won, the SWAC tournament and been in the playoffs, and he's had some great players, and he has a host of kids from Tallahassee right now. He's kind of turned that lineup over, and we even talked about how Johnny recruits different than Jamie. So maybe the team that Florida A&M has this year, maybe we got that number. Maybe we have found something that we can do that can keep us in the ball game against them.
But I'll tell you what, if the Wildcats pitch, especially starting pitch, like they did this weekend, we're going to have a good shot. Because you didn't even really need the bullpen because the starting pitching was so good.
You didn't really need the bats either.
Yeah, you talk about Tanner Bocabello on Thursday night. He went 7 full innings, didn't give up anything. He turned it over to Zambrano. He gives up 3 late ones. Then yesterday, Joel Corey starts a little rough, but then doesn't allow another run after that, and 6 full innings of work for him. And then today, Edwin Sanchez was a little bit iffy. He got roughed up a bit, only went 5 full innings, but still, the line on Sanchez this afternoon, if I can find it real quick, 5 innings, 1 run, 7 hits. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. You only give up 1, and it doesn't matter if you're giving up a bunch of hits because it only matters if they cross the plate.
You got Johnny coming up now, and I know he's going to be allude to his pitching. I know he's happy to see the pitching that he saw this weekend.
We will turn it over to Coach Hernandez shortly. Once again, your final line score to this afternoon. Bethune-Cookman, 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error and 11 left on. Florida A&M, 2 runs on 12 hits, 3 errors and 12 left on base. We're now joined by Coach Johnny Hernandez here on the CatEye Network postgame show. Coach, a sweep of your rival, always important. Let's start right there.
Yeah, this was a huge weekend, and I know that we talk about it on the broadcast, every weekend is huge, but I think this one had everything that you wanted in a series, right? First place up for grabs against your rival, right, with the team from up north, and the guys played a complete series, and that's what I'm most proud of for these guys.
You broke it open in the 7th, really looked like you might run them out of there, and then the offense kind of fell off in the 5th through the 9th, didn't put up another run, even though you threatened a couple of times. And we talked about it on the broadcast. That's the kind of thing in the tournament when you let a team hang around like that, it might come back to bite you, but it didn't today.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't because, FAMU, we know they have a really good offense. The starting pitching this weekend, I think the pitching as a whole actually kept their bats kind of at bay, and that's what we talked to the team post-game is, I thought the swings were playing a little bit to the score, so we just got to hone back, get back to our philosophy and our approach and do what we need to do. And you're right, teams like this, you can't let them hang around. And, although it was a good win, there's obviously things that we're going to learn from today to carry us to a huge week next week.
You kept the ball in the ballpark. The pitching, again, immaculate the whole series. But you really saw the sidearmers well for FAMU. And that's where you've struggled a bit the past couple years. But, Kelly and Langley, you really did some damage against it.
Yeah, I mean, we know, right, FAMU is always going to have one or two guys out of the pen, and they're going to be, kind of sidearm, sub-slot guys. So, we practice on that. And, it goes back to, the guys buying into the approach of what we're going to do in kind of matchup situation. If it's a right-handed sub guy, well, maybe we get a lefty in there. Or if it's, a lefty sub guy, maybe stack up the righties. So, again, just a complete win for our guys and looking forward to, continuing this momentum as we head to a big game on Monday.
The games are coming thick and fast, Monday and Wednesday in the midweek, and then going at Pine Bluff, one of the longest trips of the year, against the Pine Bluff team that is red hot right now. What is the message to the guys about just staying focused through this long stretch?
It's like the same thing the last couple of weeks is we control our own destiny. If we want to continue to, be the number one seed or hang on to first place, like every game that we're out there, we're playing for something and we can't worry about what everybody else is doing. We just have to continue to stay true to who we are and practice and be consistent in our process to be able to have success. And, again, UAPB is a really good team. I think they've won 8 out of the last 9 SWAC games. But if you look at UAPB as a whole, the whole year they've been playing close games. It's not like there was blowouts and all that. So, first-year head coach, he's done a great job kind of looking at it from the outside in, and, we're looking forward to another great week.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats on the sweep, and we'll see you Monday.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
Once again, your final line score this afternoon, Bethune-Cookman 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error and 11 left on. Florida A&M 2 runs on 12 hits, 3 errors and 12 left on. Winning pitcher Edwin Sanchez, his record now 6-1. Losing pitcher Trevor Hanselman with no save required. Time of the ball game 2 hours and 40 minutes. The Wildcats sweep Florida A&M here over the weekend. They increase to 24-16 and 16-2 in conference play. Florida A&M drops to 19-18. 13-5 in the SWAC. For Daryl Natil and our entire Wildcat crew here at Sanford Memorial Stadium, my name is Michael Torello. Thank you so much for your company this afternoon and all weekend long. We'll see you Monday for a CatEye Network radio game at Jacksonville. And as always, hail Wildcats.